And welcome into a Black Friday edition of Glenn Clark Radio. I'm Glenn. He's Griffin. Hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Man, how about those football games? I did not see that coming. Mostly because I have no idea what happened. Hi, it's actually Glenn from the past here. This is Wednesday Glenn that you're chatting with as I was working this morning over on 105.7 The Fan. So because of that, I wanted to take a little bit of the day off. Griffin is actually here. Griffin showed up for work today, which is nice. Like, what you're seeing is from the past.
And I'm just going to be jumping in, actually. I'm just going to mute myself.
You're going to stop
the recording.
and, like, replace. Maybe you change your mind about a pick?
Yeah, maybe.
Like,
yeah.
You're going to go in.
I think that's
a hell of an idea. We got a lot to do on a Friday show, as coming up a little bit later on. We're going to preview Ravens Chargers. Easy for me to say. I talk for a living. Rodney Peete is going to join us. Of course, former NFL quarterback, now a talk show host for 570 AM out in Los Angeles. We'll preview the Chargers with him. We'll get you segment number 2 and segment number 3 of the Tyus Bowser Show with Pat Ricard. Nothing will happen that will be nearly as embarrassing as what happened in segment number 1 with Pat Ricard when he suggested that Outcast was responsible for who let the dogs out. I promise you nothing will be that embarrassing the rest of the show. But we got a lot to do here on a Friday edition. Let's kick things off. Today's show brought to you by your local Toyota dealer and buyatoyota.com. The Toyota Tacoma comes in a range of models and trim lines, so you can choose the perfect Tacoma to reflect your unique personality and driving habits. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new Tacomas from your local Toyota dealer today. Let's start off this Friday edition of the program. We normally do it on Thursdays. There was no Thursday show this week, so joining us now to help us make some picks for the weekend, he is our buddy, Fantasy Pros. You see his rankings at PressBoxOnline.com. He's always part of Project Game Day. He is our friend, Mr. Ken Zalis, and he's back with us now here on GCR. KZ, what's going on, buddy? How are you?
I'm doing well.
How was your Thanksgiving that hasn't happened yet? As I talk to you,
the Thanksgiving, I'm gonna tell you it was fantastic.
I bet it was.
Favorite holiday to eat, and now I have to go run 1,000,000 miles.
Yeah, that's the way that it goes, man. That's the way that it goes. All right, so we didn't pick the Thanksgiving games because, of course, they already happened. You know, this is I wish that I had it in me to try to bamboozle everyone and try to really try to pull off that we were
wearing
live.
Different shirts, obviously.
Oh yeah, we are wearing the exact same shirts that we wore on Thursday or Wednesday's show.
Thursday.
Yeah, it's what it is. I don't have it in me. I can't do that type of shtick anymore. Like, we're not. I pray to God nothing dramatic really happened in the Thursday football games. It's going to be. Could you imagine, by the way, if there was like a DeMar Hamlin situation, and here we are pre-recording a show?
Stop! Don't.
I know. Why?
Gosh. What are you doing?
Right? What a jerk! What
are you doing?
I'm saying I hope it didn't.
I know, but don't. Why would we talk about that? No, let's
fine.
let's talk about can you imagine if both games came down to a field goal and we tied?
Wow,
I don't know.
That would be crazy.
We had 3 ties.
three ties.
3 ties. Yeah, that would be great.
America. What a day. All right, let's get into it. Here's where we're at. Yes.
Ken, I got to drop somebody to activate Kyron Williams. Do I drop Ty Chandler?
Are these players involved with Thursday games? Because
no,
you
they're
cannot
not.
ask this question.
No, they're not. Ty Chandler or Tyler Boyd.
I don't want to drop Chandler yet. I mean, he got some looks and he looked fantastic. Madison looked good as well. I mean, if you're not going to start Boyd this week and you're worried about quarterback, I mean, he's the third wheel in that. And
right.
Higgins will be back eventually. I would probably do that.
And then defensively,
you got to get the picks.
I know.
You can text Ken after.
Right.
You can text him. We have a time limit for this.
You can do that.
Yeah.
Like, I do it. Do you understand how many texts a week I send to Ken about fantasy football questions?
No, I guess
on
not.
top of the conversation we normally have during the show. All right, you can text him. It's fine.
Okay.
Griffin's like, it's my only chance I'll ever have to talk to the great Ken Zalis.
I know. Not like he texts me or emails me.
Right, to set up the conversations every week. Let's get into picks. Here's where we're at for the year. We are competing for a little bit of cash at the top of the table. And the bottom of the table, much more importantly, the loser has to come in here. First of all, has to go take an Irish dance lesson. Then has to dress like the Notre Dame mascot, come in here, perform the Irish dance, consume blood sausage, haggis, and tripe, wash it all down with a Will Levis Irish coffee full of mayonnaise, and also perform Nothing Compares to You and Zombie. That's the big issue for the year. There is not any ground being made up by our friend Jeremy Kahn. He jumped in 5 weeks late, and truth be told, he's under 500 just since he jumped in. It's not even just – the problem isn't just that he got in late and had a lot of ground to make up. Even if he hadn't gotten in late, he would still be basically at the bottom of the table. Like maybe right now you guys are 2 games under 500. He's 3 games under 500. So he's made no ground up since he joined in. There is still time, but he is 18 games behind Paul Valley with not a lot of time left. So it's looking like Jeremy Kahn is probably going to end up being the one to have to pay the big penalty. Now, the secondary fight is our Scott Stapp position, because we decided that if Jeremy is the solo loser, that whoever finishes second to last has to go by themselves to a Creed show next summer. And at the moment, Griffin is tied. Griffin, who was at the top of the table, is now tied with Paul Valley for Scott Stapp position, 1 game clear of Ryan Chell. Meanwhile,
got a lot of time left.
KZ
coming.
After the 4 and 5 week a week ago, which importantly did not involve him having to consume a Jameson Williams burger, it did knock him out of the top spot, and KZ has gone from first to third. So at the top of the table, we now have John and Little Rock.
Plummets.
John is a game in front of myself, and then a game behind us, you find KZ, Andrew Stecca, and Dr. Nick Kelly. So that's where we're at going into this week. 3 college games, 6 NFL games. Only have 2 more weeks of 3 college games, and then we'll be all NFL. Well, we'll do Army-Navy, and we'll do the bowl. Never mind. We'll have games.
Plenty.
All right, let's get into it. Picks are brought to you as well this week by this one's going to be brought to you by the Stan the Fan Variety Hour, which returns on Monday. Stan, Ross, and Luke talking baseball every Monday. Facebook.com/PressBoxSports. You can find Stan, Ross, and Luke every Monday talking baseball.
We will start tomorrow at 3:30 on the Big Ten Network when Maryland goes up to play their heated, bitter rivalry.
This is the one.
Yeah, at Rutgers.
Our friend Patrick Stevens calls it the Cable Subscribers Bowl because the only reason why these 2 teams are in the Big Ten was so the Big Ten could get the New York and Baltimore, D.C. markets.
It's good markets. The Maryland, they're on the road, and they're 1-point favorites. 1-point favorites going against Rutgers.
I mean, it sure as hell doesn't feel like Maryland should be favored on the road against anybody. Go, Ken, why don't I go ahead? You go first.
Yeah, Ken.
No, I want you to go first.
For God's sakes. Well, I made like an idiot. I picked Michigan last week, and I felt really stupid about that. I don't know. Maryland obviously they showed something. Like they haven't quit. They haven't given up just because the season went sideways. Penn State last week beat Rutgers, but not in the way that maybe I think a lot of people expected them to beat Rutgers. That was actually competitive for a little while. Penn State ended up pulling away and winning by 3 touchdowns. But the week before that, Rutgers got shut out again. I know Iowa's good-ish, but
good.
Like,
defensively they are.
I don't know. I got a funny feeling Maryland's winning this game. Neither one of them technically need it. They're both already bowl eligible. I just have a funny feeling that Maryland's it matters a little bit more to Maryland than it does to Rutgers. I feel like an idiot, but I'll pick Maryland because the number's only 1.
You know, I'm in the giving mood. So, Thanksgiving.
Is that your way of saying I'm going to pick Maryland because you feel like you're giving away a point?
I'm going to take the Maryland Terps.
Look at you. The holiday spirit is kicked in.
The holiday season. You know, take the home team. Why not?
Look at you.
Rutgers not good.
That is the problem here, is that you don't want to have faith in Maryland, but on the flip side, you're like, how am I supposed to have faith in Rutgers?
I don't have any faith in either one of these teams. And if you said it right, like you can't. I mean, is this just a Maryland gets up to play Ohio State and Michigan and nobody else? I don't. It's just weird that those 2 teams did they play well against Michigan because Michigan was looking ahead? I don't know. I'll take Maryland here. I think
it's notable too. They fell behind big in that game. Like it looked.
They came back. I mean, they were the first team all season to score in the 3rd quarter.
I honest to God, it was feeling like we nailed this one. We called it. And I do think it matters that they they didn't just roll over and say, all right, well, same old story. I think it matters to some extent. I could be completely wrong. They could end up getting blasted by Rutgers.
I can't do it. I think Rutgers runs the ball pretty well. For what it's worth.
You're always
right? Yeah, we just hate
Me?
Maryland, don't you? You just hate. Show me where Maryland touched you on the dog, Griffin. What is it? I thought your sister went to Maryland.
She
thought
does,
you loved Maryland.
And they suck at football. So,
Jesus.
so
you picked Rutgers.
To be honest, never mind.
I am taking Rutgers. I'm taking Rutgers here. I was almost a lone wolf. I thought I was one of the last people to get their picks into me. Did pick Rutgers. So two of us on Rutgers, me and Jeremy Kahn.
Ooh,
taking.
I don't know if you heard. He's in last.
Yeah,
I know.
Not sure.
So I
But God, how fearful were we at the beginning of the year of picking against Jeremy Kahn, and now it's like, thank God.
When he can cherry pick, he's as good as anyone.
100%. When he just gets to pick the games he wants.
When he just gets to pick the games he likes.
Yep.
He's.
I do worry about that. I worry that this segment has made people say like, I can't pick with Jeremy. Like,
no. His stuff on Pressbox and his concretelocks.com.
Yep.
He gives out great picks every single day.
Just not the 9 games that we pick every
Not when
week.
we force him to pick games.
Put a gun to his
he
head.
Doesn't want to touch.
Very weird, man.
Later tonight at 8:30 on Fox, number 16, the Oregon State Beavers going to Eugene, Oregon to take on the Ducks. And the Ducks are big favorites. Yeah. They're big favorites, -13.5.
Ooh.
In favor of the Ducks.
That's a big number. Oregon State fought against Washington last week, and a lot of people
in a monsoon. Yeah.
In a monsoon. Do you think I know what the weather's supposed to be tonight in Eugene, Oregon?
I think it's gonna be clear.
How do you know that? You don't have any idea. You're just talking out of your ass.
Well, I mean, I'm not talking out of my ass. So.
I do think, in my heart of hearts, I think Oregon is 2 touchdowns better than Oregon State. I think Oregon State has. First of all, the kid whose name here's a fun
DJ.
Try to pronounce
DJ.
to pronounce his
DJ
name again.
No.
Try.
Go ahead, Ken.
DJ from Clemson.
Young go away.
He's played so much better than he ever played at Clemson. Yeah, DJ Weemaway. Weemaway. He's played so much better than he ever played at
It's going to be freezing cold, clear, though.
I'll take Oregon. I don't feel good about this one. I'll take Oregon, though.
These rivalry interstate games are always weird, and I just trust Oregon more than I do Oregon State. I mean, Oregon State has had some times, especially on the road, where they've really struggled this year. Oregon has everything to play for. They can't afford a loss here. They still have an outside shot to get in the national championship tournament. I'm going to take Oregon here. It's a big number. I don't like the number, but I'm going to take Oregon.
Yeah, I'm with you guys as well. I mean, Oregon is still playing for quite a lot right now. The
awkward part is Oregon State's 3 losses by a combined 8 points. Combined 8 points, and they would have to lose this game by 2 touchdowns.
I know.
Yeah.
They've just struggled on the road, though.
And they got the Heisman favorite Bo Nix. So yeah, I'm gonna take the Ducks here. The three of us.
I thought I saw that Jaden Daniels became the Heisman.
I thought I saw.
Did he really? I mean, I think it should be Jaden Daniels for what it's worth, but
I thought that changed.
But Bo Nix. Anyway, Bo Nix is still right up there, and Oregon's playing for a lot more than the Beavers are right now.
But they don't need to win by 2 touchdowns in order to do
true. That's true.
What's everybody else doing?
On the Beavers, four of us. Paul Valley, John Proctor on Oregon State. Sorry, 5 of us on Oregon State. Ryan Shell, Andrew Stecca, and Jeremy Kahn on the Beavers.
For the record, Jaden Daniels is at Silverbook, the Heisman favorite, -140. Bo Nix +145.
Final college game of the slate tomorrow at noon. The big noon kickoff. College game day will be in Ann Arbor as number 3 Michigan hosts number 2 Ohio State. In Michigan, they are 3.5 point favorites.
I'm going to feel like a dope because I'm going to buy the hook. But, yeah, I guess I'll have to take Ohio State because of it. I'm going to feel stupid about this. I get it. Michigan's had Ohio State's number. There's real talk that, like, if Ohio State loses this game, that Ryan Day could be fired because of it, which is crazy, but also
idiot.
But that's sort of their way of saying, like, nothing matters. Nothing else. I mean, that's where we were with Jim Harbaugh until, like, Jim Harbaugh was ready to be fired.
But Harbaugh, it was worse. He just
they were losing like Michigan State.
Yeah,
they were losing.
Yeah. They just couldn't win a big game at all.
Look, Ohio State could win this game. And so the fact that you get points, you're like, okay, that from a betting standpoint, you almost feel like you have to take them. But Michigan's got Ohio State's number, whether that's because they know what plays are coming or they're just better. I can't answer that question. I do think that last week provided them a little bit of a wake-up call, so I think they'll be better. I think the alarming part last week is that like they didn't – if I say they didn't run the ball down Maryland's throats, somebody would be like, look at the numbers. But like they didn't, right? The way that we're used to Michigan running the ball down teams' throats. So I think there's a roadmap there. Ohio State, that's the pick.
First of all, the fact that this game is at noon is stupid.
Fox has been the worst thing that's happened. Although, in fairness, this game was a noon game before Fox came along, wasn't it?
No, right. I mean,
I think that this Michigan-Ohio State has always done a noon bit, which I don't care for.
No, I don't think
3:30. I'm pretty sure. I'll double check.
I think
it should be a 3:30 game. I agree on that.
It's just being at noon is stupid, but be that as it. Michigan's tough to really figure out in the last 2 weeks because they literally just ran the ball 2 weeks ago in the second half and dominate the line of scrimmage. Last week, I don't know if it's you're looking ahead and looking past Maryland, their quarterback stunk. I mean, stunk all game. I don't know if I can trust them, and I'm getting 3.5 with a team that, again, one of these teams could, with a loss here, miss out on the national championship. I'm going to take Ohio State because of the hood.
Yeah, I'm taking just like what you guys said. They're a very good team. They're the higher ranked team, and they're getting 3.5 points. It seems pretty clear. The Buckeyes also since 2009 as an underdog of 3 or more points, they are 15-1 against the spread.
By the way, here's the number. This is from the Lantern. Since 1980, Ohio State Michigan kickoff has taken place between noon and 12:45, 33 times. Only 6 times later than 12:45. So
it's terrible.
It's been
I guess that's true because it will start around 12:15, 12:20 because of all the Fox.
It's a weird bit though. Like
weird thing.
I think Fox has been awful. I love the fact that there are more football games on TV, right? Like who doesn't love that? But Fox prioritizing the noon window sucks, right? Like 3:30 and prime time should be the college football. Noon is like the teaser. Like maybe every now and then there's a game in there that ends up being pretty good, but the noon window should not be for the best games of the week. It shouldn't be for multiple reasons. One, the West Coast exists. 2 being people have things. Like, Ken's coaching 6,000 different sports. Like there are things that people are doing. Put the games later. But for whatever reason, Ohio State, Michigan has traditionally always been played even before Fox at that time. I don't know what the story is there.
To the NFL later this afternoon at 3 p.m. on Amazon Prime Video.
Hey, Griff.
Yeah.
Can we know who else is on Ohio State?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Oh, sorry.
That is a good
fair.
point.
That's fair. 3 of us are on Ohio State and the Buckeyes. On Michigan, of course, Kyle Ottenheimer.
Stunner.
Paul Valley. Andrew Stecca.
Michigan can be favored by 30 in this game.
I know.
Paul Valley, Kyle, Andrew Stecca, and Jeremy Kahn are on the Wolverines.
I'm 3 for 3 in avoiding Jeremy's picks.
I know. We're the same, and we're against Jeremy 3 times.
Yeah. Now to the NFL on Black Friday. Miami is at New York, and Miami's laying 9.5 on the road against Tim Boyle and the New York Jets.
Miami didn't look all that good last week, but the Raiders didn't. I said the Raiders didn't start Tim Boyle. They started Aiden O'Connell. I'm not really sure what the difference is between Tim Boyle and Aiden O'Connell. Man. I don't know what happened with Miami last week, and I'll probably spend too much time trying to figure it out, so I'm just going to take Miami and hope they get their issues figured out this week.
Yeah, the number's too high for me in a divisional game. I don't think by any means Tim Boyle is the answer. But Wilson was not the answer. And he's just making bad decisions. It's like
Yeah.
everybody wants him to play well. He's just making bad decisions. So now you have a guy, not that Boyle sets the world on fire, but he had some moments in his NFL career where he's played. I can't talk either, Glenn, pretty well. And 9.5 versus that defense versus Miami just confuses me every week. Sometimes they're great, sometimes they put up a dud like they did last week. I'll take the 9.5 in the Jets.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think you're crazy, Ken. I don't really have any faith in what the Jets are doing.
Tim Boyle.
Yeah. Who did he say?
Sorry. What did I say?
No. I'm just saying that's the reason you're having faith in Tim. You have to have.
No, I'm not. I have. It'll look like a better offense. I do have faith in that. It will look like a better offense than we've seen.
Yeah. And even if it does, like, I am putting a lot more faith in the Dolphins being able to put up 49 points against even if this is a strong Jets defense. If they have to, I think Mike McDaniel will and can be able to. Yeah.
Can we have a side bet on that?
Ooh, by all means.
Well,
did I hear side bet?
Hold on.
What are we doing?
49 points is a lot. I'm just saying. I think they could do it.
I
think they could do it.
Threw that out there.
Yeah. So Miami to win by 10. I will take that. Especially, I think Tua and Tyreek Hill, they'll be able to. With everybody watching, they'll want to put on a show.
I felt more confident in my pick before Griffin started talking. All of a sudden, I feel like he was just like. All of a sudden, when I hear
Dolphins
you
are really good.
I know that, and that's what I was thinking.
Are they really?
They should be really good. They weren't. They weren't really good a week ago.
They've played that game like 3 times.
I know. All right, go ahead. We got
anyway.
Joining Ken on the Jets is John in Little Rock, Dr. Nick Kelly, and Jeremy Kahn on Ken's side this time on the New York Jets.
I'm 4 for 4 in avoiding Jeremy Kahn now.
To 1 o'clock on Sunday on CBS, Pittsburgh Steelers going to the Matt Canada-less Pittsburgh Steelers going to the Cincinnati Bengals. And the Steelers, they are 1-point favorites on the road.
I have no idea. I mean,
Jalen Warren season.
It is. We would like to think it's Jalen Warren season. By the way, God, I love it when you say Bengals. There's just something about people from Baltimore saying Bengals. Like Cincinnati hired a 1980s girl band to come play football for them. It's just it makes my heart happy. I have no idea. Like, I didn't see anything from Jake Browning that made me think, like, maybe they could be more competitive than we thought with him. But, you do remember that some of these guys are NFL quarterbacks for a reason. And as everybody's pointed out, we liked Jake Browning when he was in college, and we thought he was talented. And, like, he still has good pieces to throw the ball to. So, like, maybe they can figure out a way to do just enough. But the Steelers, maybe inspired by the dismissal, I'm gonna have to take the Steelers here. I might regret it, but I have to do it.
I actually think Browning, and I know it's so hard to be a backup and come in the middle of a game, and because you don't take any of the reps and you don't see anything. And I actually thought he threw the ball pretty well against the Ravens when he came in and had the opportunity to do it. And with a whole week, I think he'll play well. Having said that, I'm still not going to take them. I'm still going to take the team that can run the ball better, which the Steelers want to do, and probably, a 1,000,000-pound weight off of their offensive players. They've been begging for this with Matt Canada. It's been years in the making. I'll take the better defense, the better run game, and I'll take the Steelers.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Steelers as well. I feel like they'll be maybe a little more amped up. I'm not sure. Like, anytime a guy gets fired, I think that's kind of a wake up signal to the players. So I think I have faith in the Steelers defense. Starting Kenny Pickett, we're not really sure what he is. We don't think he's a quarterback right now, but I think I like Kenny Pickett slightly more than Jake Browning right now. So even though they're on the road, I will take the Steelers as well. 2 backers of the Bengals. John Proctor was almost a lone wolf on the Bengals again, but Jeremy Kahn joins him on the Cincinnati Bengals.
This is a good bit. This is a
5.
good bit. I like it.
5 for 5, avoiding Jeremy Kahn's picks.
To me, I think this might be the game of the week. Jacksonville at Houston. It is at 1 o'clock on CBS.
I think it's undoubtedly the game of the week.
Yeah. And on the road, the Jaguars are laying 1.5. 1.5 going into Houston.
Man, this is good. Like, I think we're all enamored with Houston right now, and then we see C.J. Stroud throw 3 interceptions last week, and we're like, oh, did we get too carried away, right? Like, he hadn't thrown picks all year. Was this the moment that like it starts to turn? I'm not gonna do it. I'm buying into it. I don't think that Jacksonville necessarily deserves to be favored on the road based on the totality of what we've seen from them this year, but I get it. Like what we thought they were going to be combined with. I'm taking Houston. I'm just feeling it. I think there's something special going on right there. You know that I was feeling that even before the season began. I thought they were going to get things. I didn't think this, but I'm riding with Houston. Texans is the pick.
I can't do it. And it's not that I don't believe in C.J. Stroud as the rookie of the year. I thought all the MVP stuff was a little bit out of left field for me. But the numbers are there. Jacksonville, I think, got a really big wake-up call against San Francisco. I really like what I saw out of them last week. I like that they finally realized that Trevor Lawrence can move out of the pocket, that they have to get Ridley involved. They still have a really dangerous running game, and their defense isn't bad. And they're tough to throw against. I'm going to take Jacksonville. It's a small enough number. I'm basically saying to myself who's going to win the game, and I think Jacksonville wins the game.
I'm staying on the C.J. Stroud train. There might be something to erode Trevor Lawrence, but I also think there's something to C.J. Stroud. And I really like the Texans a lot. The Jaguars might have gotten right last week, but that was against a very bad Titans team. I'm gonna take the Texans to keep it rolling. On the Jacksonville Jaguars with Ken, only 3 total on the Jags. It is John Proctor, Ken Zalis, and Dr. Nick Kelly.
Oh, damn it!
Jeremy Kahn is on our side.
The dream is over.
I was like, if I go, because this is the thing, he's not going 9-0. No. So if I picked all 9 games differently from him, I'd be like, I'd feel very confident about my ability to go 5-4 that week. I'd be like, I think I can pull out a 5-4 week here, and I feel like going 5-4 the rest of the way is just exactly what I want to do.
Into the 4:00 window on Fox, Denver will be welcoming Cleveland and the Brownies, and Denver is 2.5-point favorites taking on the Browns.
What a world where this is like a big game.
Yeah. 7-3 Cleveland Browns.
I am still reluctant to buy into what Denver is doing. They look good in moments, and then it just sort of feels like they're surviving in other moments, and you're reminded that everybody else is just kind of mid. God, this is infuriating. Like, I want to say, well, it's a good team getting points, I should take them, but it's a good team starting Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Broncos.
All right.
Yeah, this wasn't that hard for me. Cleveland's not going to win many football games playing like they did last week. I'm just sorry. They went up against a team that has no identity on offense, has a quarterback that's struggling. Yes, they're good defensively, but to go on the road against a team that's playing well, that offensively is going to challenge you more, I'm not picking the team that's starting a guy that legitimately had 3 good passes last week. And they happened at the right time, so they won the game. I'm going to take the Broncos. It's not that I'm buying into them. I'm just buying into them more offensively than the Pittsburgh Steelers, and that should be enough.
I agree with you guys. I mean, the Browns defense is really good. This feels like a pretty solid under game for me. So it's definitely going to be close. So that makes me feel inclined to take the team with the points. But I mean, like the Browns barely beat the Steelers, who, as Dan Orlovsky put it, we're not calling plays to even try and win the game last week. And I think the Broncos are trying to win. And, there's going to be a team that's going to kind of sneak into the playoffs, I think, here in the AFC with all these quarterback injuries. And I think, Sean Payton has a chance to kind of rally this Broncos team to do it. I think they are good enough to do it. I'm not sure if they'll be able to and execute, when they need to. But going against a Browns team that's starting Dorian Thompson-Robinson, I will take the Broncos at home. Most of us on the Broncos, there are 4 backers of the Browns. It is John in Little Rock, Ryan Shell, Andrew Stecca, and then Jeremy Kahn.
Oh, yay!
Back on the opposite
side.
Also at 4:25, Buffalo will head to Philly to take on the Eagles, and the Eagles, they are laying 3 points, taking on the Buffalo Bills.
Doesn't feel like enough, does it? I really was hoping that was going to be a big number, and I could slide in and I would take the Bills there, but I feel like it'd be foolish to, like, did the Bills suddenly get right last week? I don't know. And the Eagles are not perfect. As a lot of people pointed out on Twitter this week, it's almost laughable that, like, Jalen Hurts is the MVP front runner, because you're sort of like, that's all this is just who's got the best record, who's their quarterback.
It should be Jason Kelsey.
He didn't. Boy, there's an argument actually, not for Jason Kelsey really, but like there is an argument for the offensive line, and I don't know. Anyway, at 3 points, I have to go with the Eagles. Eagles
were awful lucky to win that game with all the drops from Kansas City, including what should have been a touchdown pass.
Well, in fairness, that's what Kansas City does. Like,
I know.
That was always part of the calculus.
But I'm not thinking that the Bills last week were doing anything, but they were just handed the ball the entire game. And I'll take Philly at home. It's only 3. I'm not buying that everything is right in Buffalo all of a sudden, because the Jets were just offensively just god-awful.
Yeah, I agree once again. It may continue my streak of not being able to pick any Bills games right this season, but once again, it feels like a no-brainer. You have to take the Eagles at only 3, because they've been playing they haven't been playing, I guess, that much better than anyone else, but they're playing winning football, and the Bills just haven't. So I will take the Eagles along with most of us. There are 3 backers of the Bills. Dr. Nick Kelly taking the Buffalo Bills. Andrew Stecca and Jeremy Kahn.
Hey!
Once again.
Hey.
This is crazy.
On the opposite side.
It's very clear the going against the public thing, man.
Yeah. And then finally, on Sunday Night Football in Los Angeles, the Chargers will host the Baltimore Ravens at 8:20 on NBC, and the Ravens are laying 3.5 here, going against the Chargers.
Ravens. I want to talk myself into like that. This is a trap game. This is what happens, but I can't let that stuff end up conflicting. Ultimately, there's no reason to have faith in the Chargers. They were already a bad defense, and they lost Joey Bosa. I get it. We have to see how the Ravens adjust to life with without Mark Andrews, but there is not much to like about this Chargers team, and that number is too small for me to be afraid of it. Ravens is the pick.
I am petrified of a trap game. Petrified. Because the Chargers can score. But that Bosa thing's a big deal. And even though their defense wasn't playing well, Bosa does give them a disruptor that, strip sack, changes the momentum of a game, blah, 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 blah. I just feel like so many people are going to be on the Ravens because it is such a small number that it's as trap a game as they've played, and we know what happens when the Ravens have a trap game. They tend to get trapped.
Look at you. How long have you been working on that one? Did you warm that one up in the bullpen before you came in?
Actually, no. But top of my head, believe it or not. But I'm going to take the Ravens because I know the Andrews thing is going to be a big deal, and I know they have to work some things out, but they are just superior to this San Diego team as anybody, as any team on every aspect, offensively, defensively, position by position, outside of maybe the running back position and one wide receiver position.
All right.
Every other position, they're dominant. I'll take the Ravens.
Yeah, I'm taking the Ravens as well. I mean, maybe the hook makes
so
you
funny
make
how
you
we're
slightly.
we all are taking, and everybody's just like, well,
I know. I don't. You know.
Ravens.
Yeah, I mean,
All right.
So
Here's the thing, Glenn. Are any of us going to be shocked?
No, of course we're not going to be shocked. But in fairness,
Right.
and I mean this year in the NFL, how many things are we really shocked by?
I know, but
Everyone's mid.
I know. They are.
Yeah, I'm taking the Ravens. Lamar Jackson's still there. I trust them to take care of business across the country on Sunday Night Football and primetime again. They like playing on primetime.
Days of rest, the whole thing.
We do have a lone wolf here. Chance to gain some points.
Jeremy Kahn?
Jeremy
Kahn.
Kahn. Jumping on the Chargers because he has to.
That's our
He
guy.
has to. At this point, he's kind of got to make up ground.
Gotta go for it.
That's funny.
Very good. All right, KZ. By the way, picks were also brought to you today by. This one was brought to you by. How about it was brought to you by the Tyus Bowser Show? A little bit later on, you're going to hear segments number 2 and 3 of the Tyus Bowser Show from this past week with Patrick Ricard. The next Tyus Bowser Show will be Tuesday, November 12th. Location to be announced. Of course, we did this 2 days ago, so maybe it's already been announced. I don't know, but it's to be announced. As we had to move the dates, so we're going to move the location as well for the next Tyus Bowser Show. PressBoxOnline.com/Bowser. It's a partnership of PressBox and Great Eights Memorabilia. It's brought to you by Superbook Sports, HelpMyGamblingProblem.org, and AJ Michaels. At Fans Fantasy on Twitter is where you find KZ.
Can't follow me anymore there.
Oh, you're done?
Done.
Look at you.
Find me, Ken Zalis _KZ on Threads. Follow me on Facebook. Follow if you want my rankings. They're on PressBoxOnline.com.
He says he's done.
You gonna get on TikTok or something maybe?
No, I'm not.
Do some dances. I want to see you dance. I want to see that, dude. Let's see your park.
Some pretty good ranking videos on TikTok. Yeah.
There are good ranking videos. I will not be doing any.
You'll see his rankings, however, at PressBoxOnline.com and always at Fantasy Pros. Love you, buddy. Appreciate you. That's it.
We will get picks back up at glennclarkradio.com after the show, so be on the lookout for that. And as we head into break here, don't go too far, though, because we're going to be having the second segment of the Tyus Bowser Show in just a few minutes on the other side of the break. So don't go too far. Why bet with the big boys this football season? Instead, try your hand with the local book, Superbook Sports, this fall. Superbook Sports is the book next door. Just a dedicated team of the best odds makers in Las Vegas, making sure you get the best prices and parlays anywhere. And now, Superbook will give you a bonus of up to $250 when you sign up and wager on the same day and use the promo code GlennClark23, GLENNCLARK23. So bet with the best and use the promo code GlennClark23 this football season with Superbook Sports. Visit superbook.com for terms and conditions. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
What's up, everyone? It's Tyus Bowser, and I've had so much fun hanging out with Rita and putting up with Glenn the last couple years that I've decided to do it again. Season 3 of the Tyus Bowser Show is happening this year, as we'll be all over town, giving you the chance to get to know me and some of my teammates. As we talk football, life in general, and just say what needs to be said. You can find out more about the show by going to PressBoxOnline.com/Bowser. If you don't live in the area, you can watch the shows live on Facebook and YouTube. And if you miss one, you can listen Friday nights at 105.7 The Fan. So we'll see you all season long for the Tyus Bowser Show, a partnership of PressBox and Great Eights Memorabilia. There's so much focus on sports betting these days, but I want to talk about an area that nobody wants to gamble on, where you choose to go out and spend your hard-earned dollars to eat. The Costas Inn is no gamble at all. The quality on their menu is outstanding, and the value is off the charts with a great and varied list of specials Monday through Friday. And the staples of the menu, whether it's salads, burgers, fish, they're all fantastic. And I haven't even mentioned the crabs or crab cakes yet. So check out the menu for yourself at CostasInn.com. When choosing a place to dine, never gamble on the food you put in your belly. The Costas Inn at 4100 North Point Boulevard, or call 410-477-1975 for reservations and your steamed crab orders.
What company has the expertise to make your home healthier by purifying your air and killing all viruses, allergens, and bacteria? A.J. Michaels, Heating and Air Conditioning in Baltimore and Annapolis, ajmichaels.com.
Visit Harford County. Gear up for the holidays by supporting local with Small Business Saturday on November 25th. Take in the dazzling sights of the season with a Ladue Christmas at Ladue Topiary Gardens. Enjoy holiday lights, sing along to holiday songs, reserve a carriage ride, and sit on Santa's lap in Bel Air's Winter Wonderland, happening every Saturday from November 25th until December 16th. Nothing sparks that holiday joy quite like a festive parade. Head to visitharford.com and click on events to see the full list of parades and so much more. In Maryland, you're welcome.
Whether your focus is luxury and comfort, convenience and technologically advanced connectivity, or sporty performance and aggressive styling, we've got the perfect Highlander for you. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new Highlanders from your local Toyota dealer today.
Hey Ravens fans, looking for the perfect new game day brew? Get a Guilford, Baltimore's finest craft beer during the next home game at the Bank. That's not all. Gather your flock next home game and check out Guilford Hall Brewery's brand new bar, the Gilly Nest, located near Section 505. No tickets? No problem. Enjoy all Ravens games all season long at our restaurant and brewery in Station North. Guilford Hall Brewery, European tradition, Baltimore charm.
Sure, Glenn may be in his 40s now, but he looks just as good as he ever has, and he's still as sharp as he ever was. And I say both those things without even a shred of irony. Find out for yourself right now by watching the show at facebook.com/PressBoxSports or youtube.com/PressBoxOnline.
Welcome back in for segment number 2 of the Tyus Bowser Show, Press Box 105.7 The Fan. Glenn and Rita, a dude yelling Ravens, Tyus Bowser, and Pat Ricard. We are all out here at Mother's North Grill in Timonium, where Santa is going to be coming up on December 2nd and 9th from 12 to 3 p.m., and also, they're having a big, ugly sweater party on December 2nd from 9 p.m. to close here at Mother's North Grill in Timonium. Please make sure you come out and join them for that. So a few of our regular crew got a very special invite on Friday nights, and they got to be part of a very special night as we officially launched the Tyus Bowser Foundation, which we are so happy.
Amazing, man.
Tyus, you told us, you teased it a couple weeks ago, but for people that don't know what it's all about, what do they need to know that you're trying to do and how you're trying to make a difference to the Tyus Bowser Foundation?
Yeah, my foundation is focused on underprivileged kids in inner city, just kind of bridging that gap and helping them just get the tools, the resources, everything needed to succeed in life. And I just had my first foundation event this past Friday, just raising money to get my first event coming in 2024, Teacher Scramble, which is going to help teachers in the inner city to help buy their students and everything needed for their classes. So raised a ton of money. I'm excited about it and happy that I had a great turnout, and looking forward to the many things I'm able to do.
We're excited about it.
Yeah, and as a person that, knows a lot of teachers, I have a lot of friends that are teachers, and every year they send us their Amazon lists to help, build their classroom. It's very important for us to really try to give back to those who really taught us the things that we needed to know growing up. So I love that is your what your foundation is focusing on. Is very important for us to support our educators, and I look forward to seeing what else that you have in store for 2024 and beyond.
Yes, I definitely got a lot more in store, but I know just starting out, this is going to be something that I'm looking forward to. I'm excited about, and just can't wait to just help out, in this community. They've done so much for me, and I just want to do the same.
That's awesome, man. We're so proud to be a part of that. TyusBowser.org
yes.
is the website. And if you're, I know Giving Tuesday is coming up.
Yep.
If you're in the giving mood, just please.
There's a QR code on there. Anything is helpful. And it all goes towards the foundation, helping out with this first event, the Teacher Scramble. So anything is appreciated. That's
so awesome, man. You don't know that Pat and I have actually been involved with a charity together for years.
Really?
Yeah, we are both softies is what we are. Now,
Okay.
I'm not quite as soft, I think, as Pat is.
Really?
Which I know is weird to think.
Are
'cause
you
look,
are you comfortable saying that to his
I
face?
am.
That's what I'm saying.
You guys don't realize Pat Ricard, huge cat guy. Huge cat guy.
I didn't know this.
I have 3 cats at home. It wasn't always like that. I didn't love cats. I never had one growing up.
So where'd this come from?
My rookie year, my girlfriend at the time, wife now, she was, getting ready to go to grad school. She was here my rookie year just by herself throughout the whole day. It was very lonely, didn't know many people down here. And she grew up with a cat, so she really wanted a cat. And I didn't like cats, never had one, and I was a dog guy.
Yeah.
And we went to a shelter, and we saw a cat, and he was pretty cool.
Wow.
So we took him home, and he ended up being like the chillest little dude ever.
Really?
And then a year later, she's now in grad school. I'm in my 2nd season, and we realized our little guy, his name's Harrison. It was his name already. We kept it. It's Harrison Ford, because I'm a big Star Wars guy.
Okay.
We felt like he was kind of getting lonely, so we wanted to get a sibling, and my wife really wanted a cat named Penelope. And I didn't realize it was because of her favorite show. I think it's like CSI or something like that.
Okay.
And there's a girl named Penelope Garcia on the show.
I'm going to have to trust you on this.
So
This is
she
like you
named
with
it
Big
after
Boy.
her.
I
So
don't
pretty
know.
much we went to go check another cat out. I really liked one. She really liked one. So I'm like, we're getting them both because I'm not leaving without the cat I want. So now we have 3. And they're all they're kind of like dogs.
Yeah.
They just want to love, cuddle, play. They don't pee or poop anywhere but their litter boxes. They don't scratch anything really. They're super nice with people. They're great. And they're self-automated,
So have you had the chance to kind of talk with Ronnie and Marlon? Because, they're really big cat guys as well. Have you been able to talk to them?
Wait, who else is a cat guy?
Ronnie Stanley.
Oh, yeah, of course, right?
Marlon
Yep.
Humphrey.
I didn't know Marlon was a cat
Yeah,
guy.
Marlon always talks about being a
he's
cat
had
guy.
Snowflake. Snowflake's
Snowflake
Instagram
has
famous.
his own Instagram,
Yeah,
more
yeah,
followers than me. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got it. When Ronnie comes out and is really involved with Show Your Soft Side
Yeah,
as well.
with dogs, right.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
dogs.
He's a big softie.
Oh, big softy.
softy.
Big
Yeah,
softy,
yeah.
Ronnie Stanley.
Yeah.
I know that's been really important to you, being involved with that group. And as you have entrenched yourself in this community, what it's meant to be able to give back and to help out, animals that need it in our community, I know has been a big deal for you as well.
Yeah, I mean, after getting my cats, it just shows that there's so many other animals that are in shelters or in need, and if I can get involved and show your soft side by doing different events with them or whatever I can do. And besides that, just so many of my great teammates have so many foundations and so many different things that they do week after week that I try to get involved with and try to help those guys out in the community. So, it's a lot of great things that so many people are doing, and, it's hard not to be a part of it.
It's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Tyus, that bodes the question, are you an animal person? Do you have dogs at home, cats at home? Did you grow up with any animals?
So I didn't grow up with any animals besides whenever I go and see my dad in San Diego. He had a dog, and it was cool. I didn't have any issues with dogs. Actually, dogs love me for some strange reason. They just like being around me.
They love everybody.
Dogs, no, they don't.
They
dogs
really,
don't love everybody. Don't lie like that.
Any dog, they just, there's an energy to them, and they just like to gravitate
They
towards
know that
me.
you're a good person.
Yeah, but I mean,
They are
I don't.
perceptive.
Yeah, but I don't have a dog. I don't think I want a dog because it's a ton of responsibility.
What about the cat? The cat is self-sufficient.
The same.
It's easier.
No, you don't have to do anything with the cat.
I'm good on the cat.
There's
as
a thing
well.
called a litter robot that literally cleans its litter for itself, by itself.
Now, what's this called? Because I have a cat now.
Litter robot.
Okay.
It's pretty sweet.
See, man.
To Amazon I go.
Yeah.
Man, I'm just too busy. I be having other things I'm trying to do. I don't need to be having no cat. I see him here and then I check out the TV or something, and then he right behind my back, and I don't even know where you at. I ain't got time for
you
all that.
don't like the sneakiness.
No, I don't like the sneakiness.
Until you love them, then you accept the sneakiness.
See, I'm good on that. I'm good on that.
All right. Hey, the Ravens are currently the #1 seed in the AFC. Don't know
Clap
if you
that up
heard.
now.
If you're starting to feel like a Festivus run might be coming, you can get them at +280 to win the AFC.
plus 700 to win it all right now at Superbook. Download the Superbook app or visit superbook.com. Use the code GlennClark23, 2 N's in Glenn, GlennClark23 when you sign up, and you'll receive a same-day first bet match, win or lose, up to $250. Tyus Bowser Show, Pressbox 105.7 The Fan. Pat, we had a conversation in the offseason, and you were like very open and honest about, I don't know what this is going to be like with a new offensive coordinator, right? Like, I don't know if there's a role for me. I don't know, and I appreciated how honest you were being about it. As it turns out, there's a hell of a role for you. Can you take me through what that was like? You know that the fullback position is not treated the same way everywhere in the NFL. How much confusion you had and how quickly you realized, like, oh, no, I'm going to be good. I'm going to be just fine in this new offense.
Yeah, I mean, I've had 2 different coordinators since I've been here, and the first one used fullbacks a little bit, but the last one, Greg Roman, used it a lot. So, like, the last couple of years, I've been playing a lot. So we're having a new offensive coordinator. They bring in all these receivers, draft receivers, and you just don't know if they're going to completely just get away from the position and just run the ball or, just operate in a different way. And, so I just wasn't really sure what he was going to do, and I couldn't control any of that. So I had hip surgery, so I just had to focus on that. And then once we started OTAs and minicamp and training camp, and I wasn't doing anything and was just watching, and I could kind of see where I would fit in the offense because I couldn't be used in so much. And that's what Greg Roman did such a great job with me, was using my versatility and as a fullback, as a blocking tight end, and protections, and getting the ball here and there a little bit, to where where with Monkey and I could kind of see the guys we have and what would be asked of me. I could definitely see a role for me, and it was just a matter of me actually being able to practice. And once I did, it was at that point, okay, now you kind of see what I can do. You actually can see me in practice. You can see me in games, to where you can see the player I am, see how versatile, how smart I am, tough, physical, all that stuff, to where you can use me in different ways that maybe you didn't anticipate or think you could. And that's all I could really do. And so that's what I'm going to keep doing. I'm going to keep trying to expand myself in the offense, try to play every single snap if I possibly can. But no, seriously, it's always a evolution for me. I'm always asked to do different things I've never been done, so it's going to keep it rolling.
Tyus, you've talked about how your respect for Pat in terms of how he plays multiple positions. He's played defense, but he's also, done multiple things on offense. So does he know that you feel fond about
You said, what was that last part?
multiple things?
What was that last part?
You've respected his game is basically what I'm saying.
Oh, absolutely.
So I said, does he know that you feel fond about him being multifaceted in football?
No, man. I mean, Pat is my guy, Being a guy from Maine, I wasn't expecting to see that much from him. But just to see the type of guy he is, how hard he worked.
How about Tyus going war on Maine, by the way? Like, firing strays in
Unprovoked.
Maine.
It's a small school,
It's a small school.
I was
He knows
undrafted.
that.
Same draft class, though, so
Yeah,
we've
he
been here
knows
together
that.
through it all.
He knows that. So, I mean, for me to just see the evolution of him, just being able to play defense and understanding the situation that he's in, and try to make the most of what he's able to do. And you've seen it work for him. I mean, imagine trying to run in front of a 6'4", 300-pound guy playing fullback. Like, that's something that you have nightmares of. And for him to come from defense to, learn the offense and just to be productive, simple as that, to be productive on that side and do what he does, I mean, that just shows you how versatile, how athletic, how great this guy is. And there's a reason why,
What else?
They call him Pro Bowl Pat, So.
This man has all the nicknames in the world,
Pro
right?
Bowl Pat,
Pro
man,
Bowl, Pancake, Pat, Project.
Yeah.
I tried
Pat.
to give him
pretty good.
Pineapple Pat at one point because he's a good American and respects that pineapple belongs on pizza.
It does not.
That works, too.
And we phased that
not.
one out, didn't we, real fast?
Yes, we did.
That one didn't stick, but I still appreciate his opinion, and I'm not sure how I feel now that I know that about you, Tyus. I'm not going to look at you in the same way. Has there ever been, I don't think you guys don't really do Oklahoma drills anymore, but like, has there ever been a collision between the two of you guys at practice over the years?
I mean, in like training camp and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I try to do my best to make the business move, the best executive move.
They're smart.
Yeah, we're smart people, man. We're smart.
We practice enough against each other. And we kind of grandfather a little bit, brother-in-law a little bit. Like, we're not
you
going
got
to
to take care of each other.
I'm not going to pancake go in practice.
Yeah. But we also know, too, that we got a 2.5 hour practice.
What a benevolent guy, too, right?
Yeah,
Like,
he's a good dude, He cares about my career just like he cares about his.
Exactly.
As long as we both do our job and we're doing it, in the way that they want us to, that's all that matters.
Pat, what you said a second ago, though, undrafted. Like, what you've carved out, there's kids here wearing your jersey, right? Like, you're a fullback that went undrafted. Nothing was guaranteed to you. You're 7 years in. You're on your way to your 5th Pro Bowl. Like, do you ever reflect on, like, how truly remarkable this journey is and, like, how cool it is to be embraced by this community the way that you've been?
Yeah, I mean, going to Maine, that was my only Division I scholarship, so just doing that itself was a big achievement, and the NFL was just kind of like a pipe dream. I just knew if I worked really hard and had a vision, and I think anything's possible, and that's what I did. And just me being in the NFL alone is more than I ever thought was possible. So like everything else is just icing on the cake, and I just take it one day at a time, and just like I said, just work as hard as I can, and have a vision and a goal. And it's not just me; it's also great support from my teammates, my coaches, this community. Like, I didn't play offense in college, so like that alone was a big learning curve. So I had to really lean on a lot of people, and I have a great support system with my wife, my 3 cats, Harrison, Milo, and Penelope, and then also, my
They're
family.
listening too, so I'm glad you got their names in. They would have been really offended.
So like it's definitely crazy, and I cherish every day, and I'm grateful for every opportunity, and just try to make the most of it because you just never know when it's going to be over. So yeah, it's definitely been a crazy ride so far, and it's going to keep going. Still want a couple more solid years, and maybe a little more. I don't know, but year 7, it's been a while. It's been a wild ride so far.
But also, this is a town that is very fond of their fullbacks. If you look back into the history of, Ravens fullback, Vontae Leach comes here often. LaRon McClain was one of the players of the game recently. So I think you did a great job of transitioning from defense to fullback. This town will love you forever just based off of you being a fullback alone.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's definitely been like a fullback factory here for some reason. I don't know why. And then as soon as I came here in 2017, my rookie year, that's when Kyle Juszczyk was the fullback, and he left in free agency, so they needed a fullback, and I was on a drafted D-Lineman, just thinking I was doing pretty good. I thought I was like, I can actually play with these guys. And then all of a sudden, a week in, they're like, hey, do you want to try to rep a fullback? And I'm like, sure. Like, I'll be the water boy if I have to make the team. And now here we are. So it's, definitely try to embrace it. Baltimore's a gritty city, and my position's very gritty, so I can relate a lot, and people can relate to me and what I do. So go fullbacks, I guess.
I love that. Go fullbacks. We need to start like a Pat McAfee, like a For the Brand version for fullbacks.
So my rookie year, I think it was, Keith Smith's a fullback. He's in year 10 right now with the Falcons, and he has a fullback line, a brand called Make Fullbacks Great Again.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Might not be embraced by everybody.
But the message is there. Utilize them, use fullbacks more.
Right. I like that.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
Hey, Tyus, not to end this segment on a downer, but we were at your event on Friday night, and we talked to you about some loss that you experienced in your life recently. And you had a powerful message that you shared when you talked about your teammates from Houston that had passed away. Would you be willing to share with everybody just a little reflection about those guys and how important it is to you that we all tell people that we love them?
Yeah, absolutely. Not this past Saturday, but the Saturday before, 3 of my teammates back in college were killed in a car accident that morning. And those 3 guys are guys that I either played with, or that was a mentor, or just a guy that I looked up to. DJ Hayden, who's played many years in the league, was a first-round draft pick. He had left the year that I came in, and just as a freshman, just watching him get drafted out of Houston, that was such a motivator for me to be in the same shoes as him and just be able to trade jerseys with him, just being able to sit down, work out with him, for the amount of off seasons that I've had, and just being able to talk and just connect and being able to vibe and just be around him was amazing. And another one was Zach McMillan. He was actually one of my mentors my freshman year. He was a senior at the time, played cornerback, but one of the things that he always told me that I always kept with me was if you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail. And that's one of the things that I always carried with me, throughout my career in the league, as far as just always making sure that, I got my body right, mental right, make sure that I'm in the playbook, knowing everything that I'm doing, even outside of football, little foundational stuff, things like this, just making sure that I'm prepared to be at my best. And, he played a big part in my life. And the last guy is Ralph. He was actually one of our tackles my freshman year. He was a senior as well. And I just make it a joke of just how I had my first ever fight with him, just as an old lineman, defensive end battles. And that was the first time that, he tested my manhood and just tested my integrity, the type of guy that I am. And, I had to stand up for myself. And that was a part of me that I learned. And from there, he respected me, I respected him. And it was always sharpen iron, sharpen iron, sharpen. So just being able to be around those guys, man, and I say that because I was just with them before our first game against the Texans. We had that little week off to be able to go back home. We had our first game in Houston, and I seen all three of those guys. I hugged them. We was hanging out, talking, catching up, and, in a matter of months, they're gone. And that really affected me that entire week. And it was just one of those things where, you just got to appreciate those moments. You got to appreciate those times of being around, your people, your loved ones, those people that you appreciate, because you just never know when that time is done. So, I always say to love, make sure you reach out to the people that you love and tell them that you love them. And that's what I did when I was around. I'm like, bro, I love you, dog. Appreciate everything that you've done for me. It's always good seeing you, brother. It's all love this way. I make sure that I tell them that because, they played a big part in my life. And then even so, you just never know when your time is done. So, make sure you reach out to your loved ones. Make sure you tell them that you love them, that you appreciate them. And, man, just continue to live, each and every day, 10 toes down, live in the moment, because you just never know.
That's wonderful, man. That's wonderful. I'm sorry about the loss that you experienced, but I can tell you that this dude, he means what he's saying. When he talks to us, it's always, I love you, I appreciate you, and that always means the world to me. So
Absolutely.
Thank you for that.
Yes, sir.
All right, Tyus Bowser Show. It's brought to you by our friends at Grade 8's Memorabilia. And if you're in the holiday spirit and want to help those in need while meeting some of your favorite players, then check out Grade 8's Memorabilia's Rolling with Santa Bowling Party and Toy Drive on Saturday, December 16th at Parkville Lanes with Keaton Mitchell and Brandon Stevens. Tickets are $49 for adults, $25 for kids with a family 4-pack, just $125, or $200 for a full-lane rental for 6 people. Includes 2 hours of bowling, shoe rental, pizza and drinks, a gift from Santa for the kids, and the meet and greet. Get your tickets now, grade8smemorabilia.com with the number 8. We got one more segment to go. We got to talk about Thanksgiving, so we'll do that next. Pat Ricard's here. Tyus Bowser's here. It's the Tyus Bowser Show, Press Box 105.7 The Fan.
All right, that was segment number 2 of the Tyus Bowser Show with Pat Ricard and Tyus, of course, and, of course, Glenn and Rita as well. We're going to take a break here, but coming up on the other side, we're going to preview Ravens Chargers on Sunday Night Football with L.A. radio host and former NFL QB Rodney Peete. So that's coming up next.
Hey Ravens fans, looking for the perfect new game day brew? Get a Guilford, Baltimore's finest craft beer during the next home game at the Bank. That's not all. Gather your flock next home game and check out Guilford Hall Brewery's brand new bar, the Gilly Nest, located near Section 505. No tickets? No problem. Enjoy all Ravens games all season long at our restaurant and brewery in Station North. Guilford Hall Brewery, European tradition, Baltimore charm.
Come for a game, stay for everything else. Book an unforgettable fall getaway in Charm City. Enjoy only in Baltimore festivals, mouthwatering eats, and endless entertainment. Treat yourself to a staycation in the heart of downtown, or try one of the city's many charming neighborhood hotels. And don't miss out on packages for free parking, breakfast, and more. Plan your stay at baltimore.org/hotels.
Why bet with the big boys this football season? Instead, try your hand with the local book, Superbook Sports, this fall. Superbook Sports is the book next door. Just a dedicated team of the best odds makers in Las Vegas, making sure you get the best prices and parlays anywhere. And now, Superbook will give you a bonus of up to $250 when you sign up and wager on the same day and use the promo code GlennClark23, GLENNCLARK23. So bet with the best and use the promo code GlennClark23 this football season with Superbook Sports. Visit superbook.com for terms and conditions. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
6 chicken tenders made from fresh, never frozen Royal Farms world-famous chicken, a family-sized order of Western fries, honey mustard dipping sauce, and a 2-liter bottle of Dr. Pepper. It's Royal Farms' new Tucker's Tenders Meal. It's Justin Tucker's favorite, and at only $19.99, it'll be your favorite meal, too. The new Tucker's Tenders Meal, available only at Royal Farms. Now you can kick back, relax, and eat like a champion. Real fresh, real fast, Royal Farms.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
What's up, everyone? It's Tyus Bowser, and I've had so much fun hanging out with Rita and putting up with Glenn the last couple years that I've decided to do it again. Season 3 of the Tyus Bowser Show is happening this year, as we'll be all over town, giving you the chance to get to know me and some of my teammates. As we talk football, life in general, and just say what needs to be said. You can find out more about the show by going to PressBoxOnline.com/Bowser. If you don't live in the area, you can watch the shows live on Facebook and YouTube. And if you miss one, you can listen Friday nights at 105.7 The Fan. So we'll see you all season long for the Tyus Bowser Show, a partnership of PressBox and Great Ace Memorabilia.
What company has the expertise to make your home healthier by purifying your air and killing all viruses, allergens, and bacteria? A.J. Michaels, Heating and Air Conditioning in Baltimore and Annapolis, ajmichaels.com.
Make sure you tuned in every Tuesday for PressBox fantasy football analyst Joe Serpico to get you ready for your Waiver Wire Wednesday, brought to you by Live Casino and Hotel. And if you have other fantasies you want fulfilled, subscribe to Glenn and Jeremy Kahn's OnlyFans page at... Wait, are people supposed to know about that?
Well, indeed, coming up this Sunday night, it is Ravens-Chargers. We'll be with you after the game for Project Game Day at Facebook.com/PressBoxSports, YouTube.com/PressBoxOnline. But let's preview the Chargers right now, and it's an honor to welcome in a former NFL quarterback and a man who's a host on AM 570 out in Los Angeles. He is the great Rodney Peete, and he's with us here on GCR. Rodney, it's Glenn in Baltimore. It's really great to catch up with you. Hope you and your family had a great Thanksgiving. Thank you for taking the time for us.
Thanks a lot, man. Yes, we did. Of course, I ate too much as I usually do, but all is good. All is good. I hope you and your family had a good one as well.
And we really did, and appreciate you saying that, man. Rodney, I when I say what's wrong with the Chargers, I know it's a complicated question, right? Like, I know there's a lot of layers to it. Let me start with the defense, which already had problems and now loses Joey Bosa on top of it. Should we be expecting that the Ravens should be plenty capable of just sort of coming in here and almost moving the ball at will against the Chargers on Sunday nights?
Well, here's the thing. I think that out here, it's one of those nervous matchups because the Ravens certainly are capable. With the exception of a couple hiccups this year, the Ravens have basically moved the ball on anyone. And the way the Chargers are playing right now, from just on the field and also a confidence level, it's just not a great matchup for the Chargers with the Ravens coming to town because they can't stop anybody. And that's a problem. And I don't know, there's not just one thing. It's not just, they're bad in the passing game, they're bad in running. They're bad all over on defense. And they're mostly they're bad situationally. Third downs, they're bad. Fourth downs, they're even worse. Inside the red zone, they're bad. And I can't put the finger on it. I think the thing that stands out for Charger fans is that Brandon Staley's a defensive coach, and why hasn't the defensive side of the ball been better?
We heard him get a little testy in the post-game press conference last week with a reporter that was asking again if he would consider relinquishing defensive play calling duties. I think most people are assuming that we're kind of at the end of the rope with Brandon Staley. Are we at the place where Rodney, if it doesn't go well on Sunday night, it could be his last game as the Chargers coach? Is it at that point yet?
It depends. You know what? I don't think the Chargers have come out and basically said they don't like to fire coaches in the middle of the season. Spanos has said he doesn't like to do that. But if the game goes bad and it goes ugly on Sunday night, I would not be shocked, put it that way. Wow. I would not be shocked because there have been some ugly games this year. Obviously, their season, if not over already, with a loss Sunday would completely be done. Even within the division where they were looking to challenge Kansas City, you've got the Raiders and you got the Broncos ahead of them. So it's just bad all around. And if there's a blowout Sunday night, again, I wouldn't be shocked.
Why is you bring up the situational, and maybe that's what it comes down to. I guess the confusing part for me, Rodney, is looking at this defense from a personnel standpoint. And I know that losing Bosa hurts, but you're still talking about Khalil Mack, and you're still talking about Derwin James and Kenneth Murray and Kendricks and Asante Samuel. And I sort of just say to myself, how could a defense with this many good players be struggling this badly?
That's a good question. And even with because other than this past week with Joey Bosa, he played most of the season, had some nicks and cuts, but him and Khalil Mack were playing. Like you said, Derwin James was playing. Yet they were 31st in the league in yards per game. I mean, it just doesn't add up. And so when you do have that kind of talent, you start to wonder, is it scheme? Is it something that they're doing schematic-wise that is not allowing them to make plays and be efficient? And that falls back on the coaching. But it's really hard to put a finger on it. And I think the biggest thing, the most glaring thing for Charger fans is here we've got a fantastic young quarterback. If you just take him away from the Chargers, he's having a really good season. But the team is not doing well, and sometimes that reflects back on the quarterback. But it's like they're wasting a tremendous young talent at quarterback by not having the defense shore up or not having the ability to win some football games.
Rodney Peete is with us from AM 570 out in Los Angeles, a great NFL quarterback. We're chatting about Ravens-Chargers on Sunday night. Rodney, before I get to Justin Herbert, if I could, I know at the beginning of the year the question of the hangover thing came up, and it's easy to be dismissive of that, hey, it's a new team. But this deep into the year, do you wonder at all if this team was still affected by what happened in Jacksonville in January and whether or not they've never been able to shake it and Brandon Staley never will be able to shake it?
Yeah, that's a good question. You like to think that it's a different season and a new year, but sometimes when you experience a loss like that to end your season, you have all off season to think about it. And of course, that was a bad one. And it wasn't one of those that went back and forth and at the end of, went down to the wire and they kicked the last second field goal. It's one of the ones you're up by 27 points.
Yeah.
And there's no way and again, I keep going back to this, and I've said this on my show oftentimes, as a defensive coach, you have to have some sort of identity on your team, and it should be the defense. That's what your expertise, that's why you were hired. You did well as a defensive coordinator, and yet your defense is not playing well and hasn't played well for several years, then that is a problem. I think the hangover may be more so on Brandon Staley and coaching staff than it is on the players per se.
That's interesting.
Because I go back to say I think it's not so much the play. I think it's more scheme and what they're trying to do than anything else.
All right, you brought up Justin Herbert, Rodney, and you, of course, would be a man that knows a thing or two about really good quarterbacks. So I am enamored. I always have been. Since he came into the league, he's been one of my favorite players to watch play the game. His skill set is just so special. I feel like there has been more pushback this year. Not to your point, not that anything has necessarily been his fault, but that there has been more of a question about, do we definitively know that he's in the highest echelon of NFL quarterbacks? So as someone who doesn't watch, I will ask you, are we still confident that that is who Justin Herbert is, and that really it has just been an ungodly set of circumstances that have been around him and not at all because of him?
Yes, I think that's who Justin Herbert is. I think he's a tremendous talent. I really do. I think that he has unfortunately been thrown into the category of a quarterback on a team that doesn't win. And when that happens, the fingers point at the head coach and then they point right at the quarterback. But if you look at his numbers, he's having a pretty good season, actually having a really good season. You take, and a lot of it is not his fault. You take the Green Bay game. That's a nail-biting game that kind of goes down to the wire. Either team can win that game, could go back and forth. He throws a perfect pass to the young rookie receiver. I forget his name now. Their young first-round rookie.
Quentin Johnson,
and
right?
he drops it.
Yeah.
Drops it on the sideline. Well, that's not Justin Herbert's fault, right? That's a play that puts him in a position to win the game, right? And that's a win for the Chargers. Instead, the Chargers lose that game, and now they go to 4-6, and it's like, oh, the Chargers are who's their quarterback? It's Justin Herbert. But by no means do I think that the fascination or excitement about him has worn off, because he's playing well each and every week.
So what is, how could it go right for them? We have some trepidation in Baltimore, Rodney, because obviously we've watched the Ravens, you brought it up earlier, lose a couple of games that not only were they not expected to, but games where they've had leads, and it's just been a weird year. We know how good they are. They've just sort of had moments where they kind of let their foot off the gas. And with a bye looming and coming off a big win over the Bengals, maybe this one feels like a bit of a trap for the Ravens. What would the roadmap be for the Chargers to surprise the NFL world and get things figured out in order to win this game against the Ravens on Sunday night?
Well, it would have to start with the Ravens. They'd have to beat a quality opponent. And certainly doing that at home would give them a lot of bounce back. I really believe that. I mean, now it's a difficult task. But if they were able to pull that off, then they've got some divisional games that they're playing. They still got to play the Broncos twice. They play the Raiders. I think it's one of those things that it could kickstart the rest of their season. But there's no room for error. It would have to start with a win over Baltimore, and I'm sure in that locker room they are saying, this is our season. This is the game that we have to win in order to salvage our season. It's going to be tough, but that is a game. We got them at home. Let's go show out on Sunday night. So this is an extremely important make or break the season game for the Chargers. So in that respect, I get where you're coming from a Ravens standpoint, because this is up against the wall. Make or break for the Chargers.
It's a desperate team, right? Which is what, frankly, the Browns were a couple weeks ago when they came to Baltimore before Deshaun Watson got hurt. And if they had lost that game, they would have been out of the AFC North race. And the Ravens got a big lead, but the Browns didn't give up because they were desperate. Their backs were against the wall. And I think I think you and I are probably feeling the same way. On paper, this feels like a game like the Ravens should probably win by a touchdown, maybe 10, something like that. But this is football, and a desperate team. You said playing at home, Rodney. I always worry about that with the Chargers. I never know exactly what home field advantage matters. I'm not trying to be disparaging to the good folks.
It just means they don't have to travel.
Fair.
It just means they don't have to travel across country. That's all that means at Thanksgiving time.
That is true.
It doesn't mean that there won't be more Ravens fans in the crowd than Chargers fans.
Man,
that's another unfortunate part of it. But yeah, it just means they don't have to travel.
Rodney, if I could, before we let you go, and I really appreciate it, you are someone, I just read John Eisenberg, a great football author, just wrote a book called Rocket Men that mentioned, it was about the history of black quarterbacks in the NFL, and you were involved in it, of course. And I wonder what it means to you, knowing the types of things that you had to go through as a black quarterback, to see who Lamar Jackson is, what he means to black culture, how he's been, unapologetic about who he is, that he had to deal with all of the stuff. We want you to change positions, and stood steadfast. And while he hasn't won a Super Bowl yet, and he still has to accomplish those things, he has proved so many people wrong throughout the course of his life. As someone who went through a lot of things, what has it meant to you to see Lamar Jackson's path and what he's accomplished in the NFL?
I am absolutely so proud of him for, as you mentioned, being steadfast in his beliefs and what he wanted to do. He is a quarterback, period. And they asked him to work out at wide receiver at the combine. He said no. They wanted to change his position. He said no. People talked about him. Oh, he's got to throw from the pocket. He's got to do this and that. And everything out of his mouth is, I'm just playing quarterback. However, whatever it takes to get our team to win. It feels like, and it felt like Lamar was playing in an era that I was playing in, where you had to answer those questions every season or every week about, are you good enough? Or you're such a good athlete, you need to, maybe we could play you at defensive back or something like that. In an era where you are seeing a lot more black quarterbacks, you're seeing guys like C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young get drafted number 1 and 2 and start for their teams. That didn't happen during the time I was playing. So, but even now, when you're seeing that, you got guys like Lamar who are still being questioned. Oh, he has to throw from the pocket. I heard, we've been hearing that from him since he came in the league. Well, look, now he's killing people from the pocket and with his arm. But he had to fight those people that wanted to change him. And thank God he's in a great organization, I believe, with a great head coach that believed in him as well, because that doesn't always match up either. Sometimes those outside forces of, the coach or the organization doesn't match up with your beliefs, and then there's a problem. But it feels like the Ravens and Lamar are all aligned in his beliefs and what they want to accomplish with him and believe in him, that they've given him the reins, and that is great to see, and I'm so proud.
And he's a special person too, man. Like he is just a special, unique cat, and we've been very, very lucky in our city to get to see this man play football every Sunday, and also the impact that he's had on our community. So we are
that's fantastic.
We've been blessed. Rodney Peete, man, truly an honor. I know it's at Rodney Peete 9 on Twitter. Of course, the radio show out in L.A. Is there anything else that we can plug for you, sir?
That's it. Go ahead and check out our foundation as well at hollyrod.org. As we do a lot of work with Parkinson's and autism. So you can go check that out as well. It's hollyrod.org. That's it, man. I appreciate joining you today.
Hey, Rodney, thank you so much for taking the time for us. Enjoy the game on Sunday night. We'd love to do this again down the road.
Absolutely, man. No problem.
There he goes. That was Rodney Peete and Glenn. We're previewing the Sunday night game between the Ravens and Chargers, and obviously, Brandon Staley, quite a hot seat out there in L.A. So that will be just another kind of storyline to watch there on Sunday night. We're gonna take another break here, and then coming up, we're gonna start winding things down a little bit. We'll do a tidbit tubular as usual as we wind things down before we get a chance to hear the third and final segment of Tuesday's Tyus Bowser Show.
Make the most out of every day in your Toyota RAV4. Available in hybrid or gas-only models. A RAV4 can get you where you want to go in style. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new RAV4s from your local Toyota dealer today.
The latest edition of Press Box is available now. On the cover, Todd Karpovich profiles the Orioles' survivors, Anthony Santander, Austin Hayes, Cedric Mullins, and Ryan Mountcastle, who all came from the previous regime but stuck through tough times to be key pieces in guiding the franchise back to prominence. Also inside, we remember the iconic Brooks Robinson with tributes from Jim Henneman and myself, Stan the Fan Charles, and a trip down memory lane to remember the most significant moments of his career. Plus, we meet players from college basketball programs around the state. Pressbox is available for free at over 500 area locations, including 60 Royal Farm stores, and you can always find the entire edition, as well as the best daily coverage of the Orioles, Ravens, and Terps at PressBoxOnline.com.
Visit Harford County. Gear up for the holidays by supporting local with Small Business Saturday on November 25th. Take in the dazzling sights of the season with a Ladue Christmas at Ladue Topiary Gardens. Enjoy holiday lights, sing along to holiday songs, reserve a carriage ride, and sit on Santa's lap in Bel Air's Winter Wonderland, happening every Saturday from November 25th until December 16th. Nothing sparks that holiday joy quite like a festive parade. Head to visitharford.com and click on Events to see the full list of parades and so much more. In Maryland, you're welcome.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
There's so much focus on sports betting these days, but I want to talk about an area that nobody wants to gamble on, where you choose to go out and spend your hard-earned dollars to eat. The Costas Inn is no gamble at all. The quality on their menu is outstanding, and the value is off the charts with a great and varied list of specials Monday through Friday. And the staples of the menu, whether it's salads, burgers, fish, they're all fantastic. And I haven't even mentioned the crabs or crab cakes yet. So check out the menu for yourself at CostasInn.com. When choosing a place to dine, never gamble on the food you put in your belly. The Costas Inn at 4100 North Point Boulevard, or call 410-477-1975 for reservations and your steamed crab orders.
6 chicken tenders made from fresh, never frozen Royal Farms world-famous chicken, a family-sized order of Western fries, honey mustard dipping sauce, and a 2-liter bottle of Dr. Pepper. It's Royal Farms' new Tucker's Tenders Meal. It's Justin Tucker's favorite, and at only $19.99, it'll be your favorite meal, too. The new Tucker's Tenders Meal, available only at Royal Farms. Now you can kick back, relax, and eat like a champion. Real fresh, real fast, Royal Farms.
Come for a game, stay for everything else. Book an unforgettable fall getaway in Charm City. Enjoy only in Baltimore festivals, mouthwatering eats, and endless entertainment. Treat yourself to a staycation in the heart of downtown, or try one of the city's many charming neighborhood hotels. And don't miss out on packages for free parking, breakfast, and more. Plan your stay at baltimore.org/hotels.
Don't forget about Project Game Day after every Ravens game this season. It's kind of like this show, except Rita's also there, so I actually think it's pretty good. But hey, you're already here now, so why don't you go ahead and keep listening to GCR.
All right, winding down for a Friday edition of the program. I didn't do the math, so I don't know. We might be saying this at like 11:15. I'm not sure. This is just the nature of where we are. We still have, obviously, still to come. You're about to hear segment number 3 of the Tyus Bowser Show with Pat Ricard. Tyus Bowser Show, we do it every couple of weeks, but this next one we're going to have to push back. So, as I said earlier, just pay attention, and we'll announce where it's going to be and all of that detail, but we'll do it on December 12th. In the meantime, Griffin, I say we get a tidbit. What say you? Tidbit. You know what? Tidbit is brought to you this week by Live Casino and Hotel. You want to let everybody know what's going on at the Live Casino and Hotel these days?
Yeah, good news for me because Feast Week has been eating me alive right now because they got the second chance to win drawing over at the FanDuel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel Maryland, where you can take your losing bets and turn those into winning opportunities with the second chance to win promotion. And it's starting to wind down a little bit between now and January 4th, 2024. So we still got the whole month of December, but you got to get out to Live Casino and Hotel Maryland, where rewards members will be able to enter their losing bet slips into the second chance to win drum, and then 2 nights a week, 20 different winners will be chosen, with prizes ranging from Live Casino and Hotel Maryland apparel, sports and social ultimate happy hour, plus cash and free play worth up to $500. Drawings will be held every Thursday and Monday over at the FanDuel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel Maryland. At Arundel Mills. Must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right. What you got for us for tidbits?
We'll see him in a couple of hours. Tyreek Hill and the Miami Dolphins. Tyreek Hill last week had 10 catches for 140 yards and 1 touchdown. It was the 10th game in which he has had 10, 140, and a touchdown. Ties him for the most such games all time with 10. And I want to see if he can round out the top 7 here, wide receivers with the most such games.
I'm guessing it's going to be a similar group as the group that we had the other day, earlier in the
Yeah,
week.
somewhat similar.
Guessing because it's the catch numbers. That,
Right.
Like, it's got to be. So we'll go Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice is, of course, he is tied for first with Tyreek Hill and one other. 10 such games.
We'll go Larry Fitzgerald.
Larry Fitzgerald is not in the top 7 here. Larry Fitz is quite a ways down. Yeah.
It's a little surprising.
Less than 4.
Not really sure what the problem would be there. What would
Maybe
be
a
the-
yard. I don't. Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
104 years a lot.
Sure, but if it's effing Antonio Brown.
It's not. Sorry, he is actually on the list.
All right, I'm going to put a moratorium
Okay.
on lists that
Okay.
involve Antonio Brown.
That's fair. It's done
How many more am I trying to come up with?
We are trying to come up with 4 more. Top 7 here.
Hey.
Got Tyreek Hill, Jerry Rice.
And Antonio Brown. Great. All the good guys. Feel bad for Jerry Rice being lumped in on this. How about Julio?
Julio is in the top 7 here with 8 such games.
Me and Julio down by the schoolyard. T.O.
T.O. is just outside of my cutoff here. He has 7 games.
Andre Johnson.
Andre Johnson, he is 10th. He has 10. He is tied for first with Jerry Rice.
That's very different.
Yeah.
Steve Smith?
Steve Smith not in the top 7 here.
Isaac Bruce.
Isaac Bruce is just outside as well.
Marvin Harrison.
Marvin Harrison, wrong.
Wow.
Indianapolis Colts.
Reggie Wayne.
Reggie Wayne on this list. One more we're looking for here. Tied with Julio for 8 games.
Tied with Julio for 8 games. Wes Welker.
Not Wes Welker.
Torrey Holt.
Not Torrey Holt.
Chris Carter.
Not Chris Carter.
Tim Brown.
Not Tim Brown. Tim Brown is just outside of it. He rounds out the top 10, tied with T.O. So now we might as well just do it. There's 2 more if you want to round out the top 10.
Yeah. Hines Ward.
Not Hines Ward.
Good. He sucks. F him.
Where would Hines Ward be?
Andre Reed.
Not Andre Reed.
Art Monk.
Not Art Monk.
Just naming Hall of Fame wide receivers. Now we got to that point of the program. Roddy White.
No, not Roddy White.
Anquan Bolden.
Not Anquan Bolden. Anquan Bolden's just outside.
Michael Irvin.
Well. Not Michael Irvin.
My God. Randy Moss.
Not Randy Moss.
Calvin Johnson.
Calvin Johnson. He would be tied for 8th.
Oh, okay.
So we've rounded out the top 10 except for this last guy who is 5th.
Who am I forgetting about? Is it somebody active?
He is active.
Active. DeAndre Hopkins.
Not DeAndre Hopkins.
Stephon Diggs.
Not Stephon Diggs.
Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams.
That's pretty remarkable that he's already on the
8
list.
games.
That's pretty incredible.
Yes.
All right. Very good. Tidbit was also brought to you today. Just going to start naming all the wide receivers. Don Hudson.
Keenan Allen's also on this.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Tidbit was also brought to you by the print issue of Press Box. Only a couple more weeks for this print issue of Press Box. We had a lot of talks this week about our next print issue, which is our best of issue, including our Mo Gabba Sports Person of the Year. On the cover of this one, Todd Karpovich dives into the survivors, the position players from the Dan Duquette regime that stayed over through the dark years and helped turn things around for the Orioles. Ryan Mountcastle, Anthony Santander, Cedric Mullins, and Austin Hayes. Plus a lot of tributes to Brooks Robinson inside this print issue of Press Box. Go get it for free at your neighborhood Royal Farms, any of the hundreds of locations around town where you find Press Box. Read it all, PressBoxOnline.com. Tidbit is brought to you today by Project Game Day, as we were talking about with Rodney Peete. Project Game Day returns on Sunday night. It's brought to you by AJ Michaels, Superbook Sports, and HelpMyGamblingProblem.org. Me, Femi, KZ, Rita, the whole crew, we expect. KZ is not, technically, he is not contractually obligated to be there, but I just don't think he has anything else better to do. So we love him. We want him to be there. Everybody else, it's only Femi, Rita, and I that are contractually obligated to be a part of Game Day. Everybody else, it's just up to their leisure, but they've been hanging out with us all season. We've been having a lot of fun, so we will see you after Ravens Chargers on Sunday night. Come hang out with us. PressBoxOnline.com/GameDay to find out more. You can watch it at Facebook.com/PressBoxSports or YouTube.com/PressBoxOnline. All right, for the weekend, I can't possibly give you all of the college basketball stuff.
No, go ahead.
No, I can't. And that's not even the bit because, we're not actually here and we don't know who's matching up in it. It's just, even if I knew, it would be entirely too much to go over. So I'm going to choose not to do that. But we'll start today, as Griffin mentioned, Dolphins-Jets, 3 o'clock on Prime Video for the Black Friday game. Maryland's women taking on Green Bay in the Cancun Challenge at 1:30 on Flow Sports. And the big college football game is the one that we did during picks. That's coming up later on tonight on Fox. Oregon State, Oregon at 8:30, as Oregon still alive to try to get into the college football playoff. Tomorrow, Big Ten Network for Maryland Rutgers at 3:30, and then Maryland basketball against South Alabama at 7, also on Big Ten Network. They're going all in on the Terps tomorrow. Navy tries to get bowl eligible. They take on SMU at noon on ESPN2. Johns Hopkins, second-round matchup in the NCAA tournament. They take on Union at noon. You can watch it at centennialconference.tv or just wander over to Homewood Field. I'll be busy. I'm going to the North Pole tomorrow. Very excited about that.
Really?
We've been a few times over the years.
That's pretty far.
It's beautiful this time of year.
Is it?
It's actually just a short train ride at the B&O Railroad Museum.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the North Pole. Love doing that. The kids love it, so we're looking forward to doing that again. Local hoops teams tomorrow. Maryland women take on UMass in Cancun at 11 a.m. and UMBC William and Mary at 2 o'clock. Both those games on Flow Sports, unfortunately. ESPN Plus, Loyola, Missouri at noon. Tough one. Howard Mount St. Mary's at 4. The big college football game tomorrow, obviously, is Ohio State, Michigan at noon on Fox. That's followed by Washington State, Washington at 4, also on Fox. And then the Iron Bowl, Alabama, Auburn, although Auburn just lost to New Mexico State. Really taking the air out of this one. That's 3:30 tomorrow on CBS for that one. And then on Sunday, of course, the Ravens don't play until Sunday night, so you got the day to sit around and watch football. CBS will have Steelers-Bengals at 1 locally, followed by Bills-Eagles at 4:25. Fox has Browns-Broncos at 4, and then obviously NBC for Ravens-Chargers at 8:20. Towson Hoops at home against Morgan State on Sunday. It's also on Monumental Sports Network, so you could watch it, but I'm thinking maybe I might wander over. It's tough because it means I'm giving up time that I could be watching football, and I don't like doing that, but the kids like going to the Towson games, so we'll see. Coppins at LaSalle, Sunday, 1 o'clock on ESPN+. Everything else sports-wise, go to glennclarkradio.com and find it there. Non-sports.
Not a whole lot, because everything...
There's not like some Christmas... Dude, you did this last year.
What?
I need you to be watching on Christmas specials. I need you to be watching on, like, stuff. I need you to do a better job of that than you did last year. We had a problem with this last year. After I had to call you out for it. You weren't including them at first. It's Christmas special season.
There's not.
Get on it.
It's Thanksgiving weekend. There's a lot of sports to watch, so not a whole lot of new stuff coming out like this weekend.
Did I see that Fox is moving Family Guy to Wednesdays?
Are they really?
Yeah, that's a weird
they might. There is a new episode Sunday night of Family Guy.
I'm not pretending like I still watch Family Guy either, but like I just thought that was interesting.
The only like new thing, the Great Christmas Light Fight on ABC.
Yeah.
That season 11 premieres on Sunday night at 10 o'clock. And that is really it. That's like everything, all the new stuff they wanted to drop on Wednesday. They wanted to drop everything on Wednesday this week, so everyone can have them for Thanksgiving.
I bet that I'm going to go back and look, and I'm going to find something that you left off the list.
The Elf on the Shelf Sweet Showdown on the Food Network.
Okay, no, not that. Definitely not that. Definitely not that.
That's it. That's right. The Wonderful World of Disney Magical Holiday Celebration, also on ABC. That'll be Sunday night as well. Of course, the Ravens are playing. So.
All right. Tubular is also brought to you by your local Toyota dealer, buyatoyota.com. The Toyota Tacoma comes in a range of models and trim lines, so you can choose the perfect Tacoma to reflect your unique personality and driving habits. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new Tacomas from your local Toyota dealer today. All right. Thanks today to Rodney Peete. Thanks to Ken Zalis. We will get that up in the greatest hits section of the
Oh my God, it's so good.
tab at glennclarkradio.com. As far as housekeeping is concerned, tonight, following the Black Friday game, you'll hear the Tyus Bowser Show on 105.7 The Fan, so make sure you check that out. I mentioned Project Game Day, of course, on Sunday night. We're back on Monday, stuff and things. Jeremy, the whole deal for a Monday show. I feel like, tomorrow morning, the new iteration of the Bat-Around begins with Paul Valley and Ryan Blake. They will be with you at 10 o'clock. Facebook.com/PressBoxSports is where you can watch that. And it's not going to be a guest show anymore. It's not going to be like the show we do. it's just going to be the two of those guys getting together to talk baseball and sort of going over the biggest things. So it'll be probably a shorter show, but the new iteration of the Bat Around will start tomorrow. So look forward to that at the same location, Paul Valley and Ryan Blake. Is that it? I might be posting this weekend details about our raffle. I actually have it here in studio with me. All season long, we've been having players sign this very cool helmet that was provided by our friends at Grade 8's Memorabilia. You see Pat Ricard on that side, on the back.
Matabike.
I think Tyus is actually back there, too. Justice Hill, for sure. I would have to pull it out and look to see who some of the other guys are that are on here. But been doing it. I think that's Brandon Stevens.
Oh.
When did Brandon Stevens sign? We didn't have Brandon Stevens out.
Tyus just snuck it on there. Somebody signed Brandon Stevens,
or there's something else that I'm.
Somebody's signature that you think
it looks like a B. All right, we'll pull it out. We'll look at it anyway. We're gonna be doing an auction, not an auction. Sorry, a raffle for Helping Up Mission, and I will make the details of that known. Because I'm trying to track down a couple of other prizes. I don't want this to be the only prize that we have. But I'll make the details of that known. I need 100 people to chip in $25, or I need 25 people to chip in $100, whatever it is.
Or one person to
correct, chip in 20, and then you're going to be guaranteed to get this helmet. And we're still going to have a few more guys sign it. Grade 8s has some events coming up with like Keaton Mitchell and actually it might be Brandon Stevens, ironically.
Oh, okay.
And whoever the next guest is, the Tyus Bowser Show, we'll make sure we get those signatures on it as well before we get it to you. But that's what we're going to be raffling off, and I'm working on a couple other prizes that we will have for our raffle. If you just want to go ahead and get in, Tim from Bel Air already got in. He's already got 4 spots in the raffle because he went ahead and put in $100 in. If you want to join, I'd be grateful for that, for you to just go ahead and get it done so I don't have to chase everybody down. Glenn-Clark on Venmo, Glenn Clark 180 on PayPal. Those are the ways to get to me. $25 gets you 1 raffle spot, and you can have as many as you like. I do not care. When somebody says I'll take 10, great. It is, to me, it is not about fairness and giving it. All it is about is taking care of the people at Helping Up Mission. So, however you want to go about doing that, please, I would ask you to do that. And I'll get more details on social and the website. Maybe this weekend, if not by early next week. All right? Very good. Thanks to everybody at Pressbox, all of our great sponsors and partners, including Live Casino and Hotel, Mother's North Grill, A.J. Michaels, Guilford Hall Brewery, Royal Farms, Costas Inn, as well as Superbook Sports, Harford County, your local Toyota dealer, buyatoyota.com. Thanks to Griffin at Griffin_Bass. Follow us, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Glenn Clark Radio. Have a great weekend. Go Ravens. Go Maryland and Navy. Go local hoops teams. Duke sucks. We will leave you with segment number 3 of the Tyus Bowser Show featuring Pat Ricard.
And welcome back in for segment number 3 of the Tyus Bowser Show. Pressbox 105.7 The Fan. We are live at Mother's North Grill in Timonium with Tyus and Pat Ricard.
I am very disappointed in the young man over here. He didn't yell.
He didn't yell the Ravens.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. We were waiting for you to yell. We're back on. There we go.
There you go. There
we
you
go.
Hey, shout out to the whole crew here at Mother's who've been taking care of us. Thank you to my guy Tag, the whole team. Thank you for all of that. Don't forget, every Wednesday at Mother's North Grill in Timonium, karaoke from 8 to 11 p.m. DJs every Thursday from 9 to midnight. Come out, hang out with us at Mother's North Grill in Timonium.
I'm going to get Tyus, because remember, he owes us a song.
That's right.
So me and Tyus are supposed to do a duo. So we have to come back out here and do our duo, Tyus. I didn't forget.
Oh, God. Sorry, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Y'all missed Tyus and Rita cutting up the dance floor.
Yes, you did.
On
Yes, you
Friday
did.
night. We got to see Tyus's Park Heights strut.
Yeah.
That was awesome. We have been waiting for that one for a little while.
Yeah.
So was shirt on or off, Tyus?
It was on. I had on the whole suit.
It was on?
I had on the whole suit.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like,
sometimes that shirt comes off.
no, not at all. I don't know what you're talking about.
We all saw the pictures, Tyus. What are you talking? Halloween
And
last
videos.
year?
And the videos.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
No, that happened. We all saw it. Every young lady in this
It
town
was a
saw
Halloween costume or something.
I have no idea what you're talking
Oiled
about.
up.
He just
Erase
did
it
the
out
Men
your-
in Black memory flash.
Erase that out of your mind,
That was
people.
Great. All right, Thanksgiving this week. How hard in the paint do you get to go on Thanksgiving when you got to play a football game a couple days later?
Honestly, it shouldn't be too bad since it's on a Thursday. We travel Friday, and then we'll be there for a few days. So I think it'll
like
bypass.
at the dinner table on Thursday.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too bad.
You get to consume a little bit?
A little bit.
Okay.
I've been trying to watch what I eat, because I'm still not out there playing yet, so I'm trying to make sure I'm fit.
Game shape.
Game shape, absolutely.
Okay, Pat, what's the thing that like you're ready to risk it all for on the Thanksgiving plates?
So don't be mad at me, guys, but I'm one of the people that kind of thinks Thanksgiving food is kind of overrated.
No.
It's the turkey for me. I don't know. I must have had bad turkey growing up because I don't know.
You never had
Don't
fried
be hitting
turkey
like
before?
That. No. See, that's
Okay,
probably why.
so
Yeah.
yes, this is why.
I don't think I've had a fried turkey either.
Yeah, I guess it's a.
But I want to
it's a
try
thing.
it though.
You know what it is? This is a two Americas thing, Rita. This is a two Americas situation.
Oh my gosh.
But Glenn, you've had fried turkey.
I of course have had fried
So-
turkey. I last year I did my own Cajun turkey. It was wonderful. I injected as much Creole butter in that thing as I possibly could.
Okay.
It was magical. It saved me from my sins.
Please
I'm-
save Pat
that's
some if
amazing.
you do it again this year
I'm
so he
gonna
can have a
have to,
taste and
man.
then he can change his mind about the best holiday.
What
of all.
what about dessert? Like do you even
That's where I go in.
Okay.
Pumpkin pie, it's usually cheesecake, usually an apple pie or so. Is there other good desserts?
The
I don't
correct
know.
answer, of course, is pecan pie, but I'll accept
Okay.
those as well. They're like that's okay. Those are decent answers.
Okay.
What about you, Tyus? What's the go-to dessert for you on Thanksgiving?
And I think we're a little different maybe. I mean, we be doing a chocolate cake, we be doing a 7-Up cake, we be doing a pumpkin cake. Not the pumpkin cake, but a pecan.
Pecan
my
pie.
fault. Pecan, my fault. Like a German chocolate cake,
Yeah.
red velvet cake.
Y'all just be doing like a dessert table.
You know,
You gotta
we're
pick.
a little different. We're a little different on our side, But
And that's why I'm coming to
Yeah.
your house next year.
oh man, I'm going to somebody else. I'm going to somebody else's house. So we're gonna make sure we're gonna make sure we good on that part. So
All right, so we heard you say that Thanksgiving is overrated. I'm gonna ignore that. But let's pick
This is
let's
Just
pick
the
an,
food, just
let's
the
pick an
food.
overrated dish at Thanksgiving. What do you consider the most overrated dish for
It's
Thanksgiving?
the turkey.
So you
It's
just
the
don't like turkey.
It makes you sleepy. It's usually dry.
See, this is what I'm saying. You got to have fried turkey.
I know. It's got to be the turkey. It's got to be the turkey.
gotta
Everything
s-
else I like.
Okay.
Even cranberry sauce is pretty good. Most people don't like cranberry sauce.
I don't like
that
cranberry.
is an unpopular opinion too. I like cranberries.
What's the most overrated dish for Thanksgiving? Okay.
Ham.
Okay.
I don't see how people eat ham on
I don't get it.
Thanksgiving.
There's no need.
I just don't see the point.
Ham's a Christmas dish.
I agree.
That too.
Or Easter.
Anything.
Wait, you just
that's
don't
ham.
like ham and it's not just on Thanksgiving. You just don't like ham.
Yeah, I don't like ham. So
Where did that come from?
I think just growing up, we didn't have much, so we always grew up on like bologna, turkey, sandwich meat, like the chicken, like rotisserie chicken.
Rotisserie chickens.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I was on, and then the ham just really threw me off. I'm kind of big on texture, so it wasn't good. It wasn't good
Man,
at
I don't
all.
know how I feel about any of this. These are all wonderful things that you guys hate, and it bothers me to my core.
Why?
Because I thought I respected you.
Ooh, wow.
I knew I thought I respected because Pat had such a good take about pizza, and now I found out he doesn't.
So, do you know what goes well with ham?
Pineapple.
Pineapple.
There we go. Right back.
Is ham salty, pineapple sweet, put them together,
It's
bam.
a nice balance.
That
Yeah.
doesn't
But
sound
this is why
good
people
at
put
all.
pineapples on the ham. It gives it the flavor.
No, I'm good on
Man,
that.
do you like pork in general? Do you?
Yeah, I eat
Okay.
pork. Yeah.
All right.
I eat bacon and all that stuff. Yeah.
All right, bro. I gotta make sure you have.
Yeah, I eat bacon.
Who goes war on ham? Ham is delicious.
Me,
Ham is-
I also do
no.
too.
All right, I got
I'm good
nothing.
on the
Maybe
ham.
this really, maybe it's another two
I
Americas
have
situation.
I've eaten no, because my mom loves it. I have eaten more than enough ham in my lifetime, and that's
All right.
probably why.
All right, who would it be? Who on the team would you trust to prepare a Thanksgiving meal?
A Thanksgiving meal?
Yeah, which of your teammates?
If like all of them could cook.
They got to cook. One teammate's got to prepare the whole meal. Got to do all of it. Which one of your teammates would you trust? And which one of them, if you found out they were preparing a Thanksgiving meal, you would say, there's no chance in hell I'm going to that house?
That would probably be either Ronnie or Marlon. If Ronnie or Marlon said they were making me a Thanksgiving meal,
you just don't trust their ability to prepare food.
Anything.
I'll probably put Marlon up there as well.
Yeah. No.
I'll put like Dafe in there as well.
Yeah. But who would you trust?
Who would I trust?
Yeah, who would you say, I'll let them make the meal this time?
Honestly, probably Kevin Zeitler.
Oh, man. That guy loves to grill.
That's a really good one.
That's actually where I'm going on Thanksgiving.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Is he preparing the turkey?
No. I think his,
I was hoping
his
we
wife
could save
and they're probably gonna order some stuff. I don't know.
Now his wife likes to bake.
She bakes every week. She gives Kevin treats to give to the whole team every Saturday morning.
Amazing.
What's the best thing that?
I don't know. It's just every week it's something different.
Something different, and it's
crazy.
Amazing.
Is it like you're in elementary school again?
Yeah.
And somebody
comes in with like just.
Do you look forward to it? Like, are you like, it's Saturday? I can't wait to see what this is.
Like I literally walk, cause normally the plate is like right there where Nelson Aguilar, so he's probably like 2 or 3 lockers from me, and I walk in, and that's the first place I look at is like where his locker is, and I see the 2 silver platters, and I'm like. Yes, there's something. let's see what's been cooking. So let me see what's going on here.
That's awesome.
The cookies from brownies
I seen like the
to
red
everything.
velvet cupcakes were popular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
she
God.
made these key lime pie little tarts. I had like 10 of them. It was ridiculous. I'm like, bro, you need to take these because I'm gonna eat the whole thing.
All right, you made the right choice of where to go for Thanksgiving. That's definitely the place to be.
I'm gonna make sure that you grab me some as well.
Right, yeah.
Because I know she's gonna be coming with some heat.
Tyus Bowser Show, Press Box 105.7 The Fan. Hey, what company has the expertise and technology to make your home substantially more energy efficient, comfortable, and even virus-free? It's AJ Michaels Heating and Air Conditioning in Baltimore and Annapolis at ajmichaels.com. All right, the hard-hitting journalism. You got a former teammate that's back in the league now. Joe Flacco's back with the Cleveland Browns. Are you, like, selfishly rooting now that you guys get to play him again in the playoffs so you can see your boy?
I'm not even sure how to answer that.
Well, it's week 12, so we have to kind of see who's making the playoffs first off.
All right.
And secondly, we love Joe, right, guys? We love Joe, right? He's a pretty good guy.
Well, I mean,
right?
we do, but he's a Brown now.
I
so
know,
it's
I
a
know.
little-
We like
That's
to call
kinda-
the ops now. He's what we like to call the ops.
Yeah, that's not cool, Joe. It's not cool. But I hope he does well enough to where they either don't make playoffs, but if they do, hope he sucks in the playoffs.
There we go. That is the correct answer. I think that is exactly the right answer.
But I still love Joe Flacco.
That's cool. That's cool. I love that. I love that, like, you still have that. Have you stayed in touch with him over the years, Pat?
Not really, no.
Love the guy. Haven't talked to him in a while, though.
Yeah.
Love and respect him, though.
No,
Great
all right,
player.
I appreciate
Great player.
that. Oh, nothing but respect for that guy. Nothing but respect for it. So Reed and I were on the radio last week, and a topic came up, Tyus. You're a resident basketball guy.
Yes.
How do we talk about Draymond Green? Like, how do we have a conversation about a man who is truly a psychopath, but yet is also a 4-time NBA champion and a significant part of the reason why they're 4-time NBA champions? How do we talk about that, dude?
I mean, there's respect behind his name, but there's also questions behind that name as well, as far as, you know, and he's a vet, you know, and many years has proved himself, you know, countless times, ton of championships. So it's hard to you know, separate those things, especially when he has the accolades to back it up, you know. So I'm not sure how to really answer that question.
But he's also a clown. Like,
he is.
Yes.
He is a clown, but
I think that his issue is the same issue that Golden State is dealing with, and how to deal with Draymond Green, right?
yeah. But I mean, I'm sure he was kind of like that, but not as bad as he is now then. But like I said, he has the accolades. He's a vet now. Like, he has a lot more leeway. The league know how he acts. So he's able to kind of do what he do now and not get the repercussions like he would if this was his first or second year, you know? So it's just one of those kind of like vet move type things where he can kind of do whatever he wants just because, you know, he's Draymond. But at the same time, like, you can't be doing the extra.
Bro, he just choked the dude.
Yeah.
Choke. He tried to put him to sleep.
Yeah, correct.
He really.
Do you believe in the theory?
All right.
Wait, real quick, do you believe in the theory that he likes getting put out when Steph doesn't play? Because apparently this has been a thing.
He just tries to get himself kicked out of games when Steph's not playing.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe just because that's how he gets his stats, you know, pick and roll game, just finding him, you know, setting up picks, because they have a really good chemistry with each other. Like, he understands his role. He understands what he needs to do to get Steph the ball and get him his points to help that team win. And when you don't have that, like, I feel like he's out of rhythm. He really can't figure out as far as his job because, you know, he doesn't score like he used to, you know, and maybe he has to score the ball a little bit more. Maybe he has to do more than he normally would just because he has two of the best shooters ever in the game, and one of them is not there. So, I mean, I think it's just tough for him. So I think it's like, man, I just don't want to be here right now. I think I'm gonna just choke somebody out. You know, I got enough money invested to be able to take care of these funds, and I'll just see y'all Tuesday or Friday, you know? So.
What a weirdo. What a weirdo he is.
Different guy, man. Different guy.
Pat, I know you're familiar with this because I saw on your Twitter that this video came across to you. I don't know if Tyus has seen it or not. There was a particularly viral video from the game last Thursday night of somebody's dad who was having an awful lot of fun.
Oh.
Yeah. So I ask you both this question. If that was your dad, Pat, I'll start with you. Would you be mad at him? Would you want to shake his hand? Would you want to go high five and say, love you, Dad?
So my dad is extremely quiet.
Okay.
Right? So if my dad were to do that, it would be quite a sight to see, because I don't think I would ever think he would ever do something like that. And secondly, he's also married to my mom still, so like, can I do that? And he's doing it at my work.
Okay, let's take that away. Let's say take that away from it.
If that's my friend's dad,
yeah,
then I'm kind of all for it. I think it's pretty funny. Yeah.
Okay, Tyus, what if it was your friend's dad?
I think I'll be for it too. Like, you know, grown man.
Good shit for you. You're out here having fun.
Exactly.
You're having fun on a
you enjoy
Thursday
yourself.
night.
Yeah. Hey.
Like, the young lady clearly seemed to be totally, like...
I was rooting him on.
Right?
I was rooting him on. I mean, he was having a blast, man. We don't know what that man been going through, and he had a time for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Legitimately the best 30 seconds of his life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
got to win and got to dance.
Right?
Got a nice look.
I don't think there's ever been a better
Sound
night
like
at
a
football
great night to me, man.
Pete, his life's peaked. That's
Yeah.
it.
Imagine that guy like going back to work at the car dealership.
Don't know how to act.
Like,
Come in with a
that
lane.
guy,
I'll
everybody
be feeling like the man when I walk through. Just feeling good about himself.
He's the man of the office.
Man of the office.
Strangers walking in, just like, wait a second. Are you? I have to. I want to shake your hand. I want to.
Because it's been seen millions of times, so you know that the whole metropolitan area has seen it at this point. We all know who he is.
Man, that guy, I need to find him. We need to get him on the show this week.
I know.
I got to track that guy down to talk to him. All right, Sunday night, back on the road, back in L.A. against the Chargers. I ask it this way only because there have been a couple that have gone the wrong way, right? Do you have to say anything like, hey, let's not lose focus, let's not forget, you know, things aren't going well for those guys right now. Do you have to have that conversation, or does everything that happened against, say, Cleveland, does that not matter at this point?
No, I mean, at the end of the day, we just focus on ourselves. We don't worry about other teams, other players, coaches, what's being said, because none of that matters. So we just focus on ourselves. We'll be fine. You know, we're where we are for a reason. You know, we're not just hoping things are going a certain way because of a guy's playing or not playing or what they're doing and what they're saying and all that, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. All that matters is how we play. And in my opinion, if we can play how we can play, I don't think anybody can beat us. So like, that's all that matters. We just keep focusing on ourselves and just keep getting better week after week and keep improving. Then the sky's the limit for this team.
How weird is it to, like, you're still not at the bye yet, by the way? Like, how weird? I've heard guys say, though, that they kind of like the idea of a late bye. I know a lot of people have wondered, like, is it taking a toll on you to have the late bye? Like, I guess you're not the guy. This is always awkward. I look at Tyus, and he's like, right, I'm not playing, bro.
It's definitely a late bye, that's for sure. I think the good thing is that we've been winning. So when you're kind of winning, you're kind of getting on a roll. So you kind of can just keep, stacking wins, stacking practices, and keep getting better. And thankfully for us, we just had this Thursday night game. So Coach Harbaugh, was all happy with the win. So he gave us 4 straight days off.
That's cool.
Today was our first day back. And then we have this game. We got, kind of stinks. We got to go all the way to LA. But then we have a bye. So it's like we have a lot of rest right now this past week and next week to where we can really finish the season strong. If we had a bye like week 3 or something, you're kind of tired from training camp the start of the season, but then you have to go a long haul with no break whatsoever. So, I might have liked it our bye maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago, but at the same time, like when you're kind of on a roll and a rhythm, I think it helps. Sometimes teams come off a bye and they kind of are a little sluggish and, because they haven't played football in almost a week. But I think it's coming at a perfect time for us. I think if we can, take care of business this weekend and, get healthy. And we have a really tough stretch at the end of the season. We're playing all playoff teams, from here on out. So it's going to be tough. But yeah, I think the bye is the perfect time right now.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, when you look at it, you guys will only have played, one game in 23 days or something like that. So it feels like it's hard to, and you already mentioned, like, if you're in a groove, and now you're on a bye, I don't know if that means that you get a little rusty when you come out of the bye, or, do you feel, relieved because you've had a break, but then you just had a mini break? Like, how do you push through that, knowing that, well, we just had a mini bye and now we're having a real bye, but making sure that you're focused moving forward?
I think it all depends on the culture of the team, the coaches, and just the players that are in that locker room. I think we have a very mature team to where I think guys understand who we are as a team and what our end goal is, to where they're going to do the right things to get their bodies, their mind right, to go on this run. Because if you don't and you're just partying all week and traveling and just doing all this stupid stuff, you're not going to play well. And I think we have the right guys in the locker room and the right culture and leadership to understand that. And so I don't think that's going to be a big challenge for us. If anything, it's just only going to help us get fresh, for that long stretch.
Yeah, eating key lime tarts all week. You just can't be doing that type of stuff. You got to make sure you stay right.
Do you guys remember back in because you mentioned like early buys? I don't know if you guys remember this, but back in the day when there were uneven teams, you used to have buys every week.
Yeah.
So remember, there would be a team that would start out week 1 with a bye.
This is before the Texans
You guys were probably
Yeah.
I don't know if you were born yet or not,
For
but
like a minute, there were 31 teams in the NFL.
So when the Texans came in 2002, it unevened the teams.
Yeah.
So every week there was somebody had to have a bye, which meant somebody had to have a bye week 1.
Yeah, wow.
Can't imagine, right?
Nah, not no bye week 1.
That ain't gonna work.
That's
that
crazy.
Ain't gonna work.
I mean, it would kind of be nice, though, to get some rest after training camp, because some training camps, they've been pretty tough.
Yeah.
Especially Ravens training camp. But
not
yeah,
that long.
I mean, you want to play week 1, that's for sure.
Right. Yeah, right. You got to get going. All right, would y'all please make some more noise for Tyus Bowser and Pat Ricard? I told you before, the Ravens currently the #1 seed, the AFC, and if you're feeling something, you can get them at +280 to win the AFC, +700 to win it all at Superbook. Download the Superbook app, visit superbook.com, use the code GlennClark23 when you sign up. You'll get a same-day first bet match up to $250, win or lose. And remember that if you or a loved one has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit helpmygamblingproblem.org for free confidential services. Pat, thank you so much for coming out and hanging out with us tonight, despite some really dreadful moments. I mean, just really unforgivable things that occurred. We still love you.
Yes. Thank you, Tyus, for having me. Thank you to mothers, right? This is mothers.
Absolutely.
Thank you to mothers. And thank you to everyone that came out. I appreciate it. And go Ravens.
No doubt. Tyus, love you, buddy.
Love you too, man.
Next Tyus Bowser Show, we're taking a 3-week break. December 12th will be the next Tyus Bowser Show. We'll be announcing the location here. Had to move a couple things around. December 12th will be the next Tyus Bowser Show, and we will announce the location momentarily. Reed, appreciate you. Love you. Thanks to everybody at Press Box. Thanks to the crew here at Mothers. For the entire crew, I am Glenn Clark. This has been the Tyus Bowser Show.